Welcome to Co-op Mode, round 168. This is the official video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. I am Todd Oxtra, and I'm excited to talk about video games. We got the Switch 2, we got all the game shows, and it's going to be a very hot summer with a lot of cool games. And I'm joined by my Canadian, Mark Carabin, the man who almost didn't come on tonight because his wife decided to do some housekeeping.
That was 100% my fault. I had brought.
That's what a good husband says.
Well, I brought my mic to work and it was in a bag, and I just kind of like left it on the kitchen table, and I didn't put it away. And so she put it away, but it was in a different spot than I usually do. So, I'm accepting the blame for that one because I just kind of like left a mess everywhere, and you know, she was doing what she does. But I'm here and I found my mic and we're ready to go.
All right. Let's go introduce our next guest. That's Eric, aka Mr. Game Positive, number one Sony pony, next to me. Thank you for joining. Yep. See, that's what they do. They cover it up. You know, see, I said, I own an Xbox so I can trash it, right? That's what you do.
Yeah, I'm trying my best, man. I bought 500 physical Xbox games. My PC's green, trying to hide that I'm a pony.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Your cover's working. I can tell.
Yeah. Nice.
Thanks for joining. And then we're also joined by Matt, aka MKen10. The man who I'm hoping school is out for summer so you can have some fun. No.
Man, I got a few. I still have 3 weeks.
Oh.
Oof, yeah. June 27th.
That's what school district punishes its kids so poorly?
It's any school district that gives the New York State Regents exams. Oh. So, yeah. So if you are a New Yorker, I don't even know if California gives the Regents. Actually, I don't even know if New York still gives the Regents. But June 27th, last day of school.
Same in Canada.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's similar up here.
That's completely normal.
A few more weeks of school.
See, guys? So I'm in the norm.
Yeah.
We're typically the week after Memorial Day in the States. That's typically when our schools are all out. So
are you like back in school in August? Like late August?
Yeah, like where I live, I teach in New York, but I live in Connecticut. And so my kids' school, they're done this week. But we start late August, but here in New York, they start after Labor Day.
Yeah,
we start after Labor Day here too. Yeah, we don't do the early schools in the South.
You start after Labor Day.
We get almost 3 months. Almost 3 months here in Minnesota. You know, that's how we roll. Because we only have like 2 months of warm weather, and then the rest is just what. So does Canada.
You're south of Canada. Like what the? That's not
we're more north than you'd expect.
Think,
yeah, Minnesota, man. We're up in the north, as they would say.
Yeah, you're below Calgary.
Yes, that's true. We're lower. We're lower Winnipeg, as you would say, where I live. So we'll go with that. So we're very excited to talk about video games with all of these gentlemen. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before we do, we have to thank some awesome people.
Yes, that is our friends over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite, where you can join for as little as $2 a month. Your first month is 50% off, and you get the first week completely free. So you can join people like our besties tier, Derek Trevelyan, aka the Figure Dude, Francie, Luke Lauren, the Xbox Expansion Pass, Charlie's Uncle Tim, the best friends, or the Friends with Benefits tier, John Sedorf, Brendan Myers, Corian HD, the Boss Rush CEO, Matthew Keel, Kurt Krug, Tanya Lee, Chipotle Bear, Famous Seamus, Cam the Movie Man, Jay Newport 007, and Brian Osserman, a.k.a. Prozac Man, a.k.a. Darth Prozac. We're going to circle back to him in a second and all his extra names. But first, I want to thank the best group ever, our Secret Friends Super Squad. This is Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias. This family is amazing, and I always got to give them a big shout out. Again, you can join over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. $2 a month gets you exclusive shows, no ads, Discord benefits, all of that stuff. 50% off your first month. You can't go wrong.
Excellent. And I would say we've had some awesome interviews lately that have been exclusive to Patreons for the first week. Mark Guggenheim, basically one of the architects of the Arrowverse, was amazing to talk to. He's awesome. He was also the writer, was a writer on Green Lantern, the movie, and then they got rid of his script and brought in some other people. So I felt bad for him, but he wanted to talk about, which was great. And then we just talked to the voice of Lion-O from the Thundercats.
Yeah.
So
the original, man. God,
I didn't know this. He was a voice. He was one of the DJs in Grand Theft Auto 4. He was also in Red Dead Redemption 2. And he's great. And he also was a host of Bowling for Dollars in New York. Very cool. Larry Kenny. Check him out. Also, the dad of Kerry Kennedy, or Kenny, from The State and Reno 911. So there you go. Yeah, very good. Yeah. It was very, very cool. If you're a Patreon, you get those first and ad-free. So check it out. Have a good time. But one of the benefits you get from being a Patreon is on this show, you get a power-up. So, gentlemen, we have to give Mr. Osterman, a.k.a. Prozac Man, a.k.a. Darth Prozac, a power-up. So it can be a in-life power-up, it can be a video game power-up, or it could be something that crosses over. So with that, start with Matt.
Don't start with me.
Eric, what is Brian's power up?
I actually don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm not sure what you just want some life advice? Is that what you're talking about?
No, just a power up. Think about if he's in a video game, you said he gets his power up is he gets to always have an extra round of ammunition. He always has an extra health pack. He has the ability to save anywhere. I don't know, Mark, is there any other ones you've given?
I got one.
Or you can take it out of the video game world. You can give him a real life power up from a video game. So if he finds food on the street, that replenishes his health. Maybe he always has a save point, or he can rewind time. I have one in mind
I got
for this one that I think I might do both. So I might do crossover. He always has this power up in any video game he plays, but it might also cross over to real life. So to give an example, I can start this off.
Yeah,
if you
go
guys
ahead.
need a couple more seconds. I am going to give Mr. Prozac Man the power of bullet time, because I think someone with that many nicknames and different aliases and things and Prozac in the name, they're gonna have some focus. That's the gift that I'm bestowing. So I'm going to, and I think bullet time, that's slow motion, focus time to take in all your surroundings. So no matter real life, in a game, whatever it is, slow down time for 5-10 seconds. Bullet time. Hopefully you're not shooting people in real life. I don't know your life. I'm not going to judge. But maybe you dropped an Oreo and you want to catch it before it hits the floor. Slow down, bullet time. Bam. Grab that Oreo. No wasted cookies.
Very good.
All right.
Okay, Matt.
I'll go second because I wish I went first. Because
you can double up.
It's not like you took mine, but it has to do with the game I'm playing. So, but I do have something similar. So I'm going to power up your power up, right? So okay. after bullet time upgrades to its max, bullet time turns into Phantom Surge. So now he, with all that Prozac, I guess, his shadow starts to split away from him and performs his actions after him.
Ooh,
right. So when he drops that Oreo cookie, he's got 5 shadows dropping Oreo cookies and picking. So one Oreo turns into 5 Oreos.
Wow.
And all 5 were saved.
Huh.
That is unique.
And that's the upgrade to bullet time.
Okay.
That's the upgrade to bullet time called
the
Phantom.
second tier of your skill tree. So now we're doing expanding skill tree. Okay, great.
Yep, it explodes into different branches. Here's the thing: if you choose Phantom Surge, the rest of the tree gets cut off. I don't know what the rest of the tree is.
Okay,
but
Well, I don't know how
I
he's
thought
getting
of
his upgrade points. So good luck, Mr. Prozac man. Hopefully you can upgrade your skill tree to the Phantom Burst.
I thought of one. I didn't bother connecting it to bullet time. As soon as I thought of it, I just stopped thinking. I'm going to give you a real life ability. I'm going to give you Duke Nukem's uncanny ability to produce unlimited $5 bills every time you hit the space bar in these harsh economic times. I feel like that could be a real benefit.
Hell yeah.
He just throws them. I used to love that.
Oh
Man.
no!
Just shake it,
Yes.
baby.
Just throw the bills.
Shake it, baby. Is that what he said too?
Yeah,
Yeah. Shake it, baby. Yeah. And you can just spam that and pay your cable bill, pay your power bill.
Oh, so your power up is make it rain.
No, shake it, baby.
Oh, okay. Shake it, baby. Yeah. Okay.
Now, could a skill tree for that one branch off? Now you got
To make it rain.
Yeah, level 1, you can only do it inside of a specific establishment.
Okay. All right.
Level
McDonald's.
2, you can do it at anywhere in your town. Level 3, anywhere on Earth.
Okay. Okay. See, I was thinking increase the dollar value on the
No.
bills. You're still just whipping out
Like a
fives.
money gun, when you shoot it, like the high rollers have.
I will min max this ability to its fullest.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I love
absolutely.
That's
Until your
fantastic.
keyboard breaks, and then you're screwed.
I like the thought of like paying for like a house or something with just like bags
Shake it,
full of
shake it.
$5 bills. Yeah, just
2 hours
sitting there
later.
crying after a month of just whipping out fives in the living room or something. I really got to pay off this car. It's a blessing and a curse. I love it.
Okay. My power up will be strictly real world, but it'll be kind of lame. But in the world of gaming, this one will really matter. No download times. Every Call of Duty takes no seconds to download. All 150 gigabytes of all those portions, no matter what his internet speed is. Every game is just there as he bumps. It's almost like he's streaming, but it's full quality. All those gigs are ready to roll. So he doesn't have to worry about storage because boom, gone, bring it back.
Well,
In these hard economic times, where storage space and internet speed, data caps, it all matters.
Unless you're an ISP, then this is
That's
a
true.
curse.
Yes, we're ruining their business. Just what they worried about. Well, with that, gentlemen, thank
These
you
were good
for your
ones.
power-ups. I think Brian is either very happy or very sad right now. He's probably hitting his keyboard as we speak. But for this point, we've got to talk about what games we've been playing. So let's start with Eric. Eric, what have you been playing?
I've pretty much actually only been playing one game, and that is Elden Ring Night Rain. It's probably not insanely popular in this podcast, but I think it actually might be my game of the year so far. Now, caveat, haven't played Expedition 33, which I think is at the top of most people's lists. But I have played a decent chunk of games this year that have released this year, and I am also, caveat again, massive Souls fan. Caveat again, massive fan of multiplayer games. So it's kind of like a perfect recipe for me. And I expected to like it. I didn't really research much going into it because I wanted to be surprised. I'm surprised by how addicting the progression loop is and how much. And I say how much, but and most people probably won't think this is a lot, but in Souls terms, there's actually a decent amount of progression, which I really enjoy, and the spectacle, the boss fights, the loop, it's very well made. It's definitely should be priced like it's priced, like it should be. It is a budget game. It's not like $80, but yeah, I love it. I can't stop playing it, and I really hope that it gets a decent amount of support like post launch. I know there's already a confirmed DLC because they have like the deluxe edition, but I hope they just keep going with this because there's a lot left on the bone in Elden Ring, and then there's like tons of stuff left on the bone if they go back into other Souls games, which they've already started to do with some of the bosses in Night Rain. So I really like Night Rain.
awesome.
I was going to
I wish
ask
I was
you
good.
with Eric with Elden Ring potentially maybe eventually come to Switch. Night Rain is that only on next gen, or is that also on PS4 and older systems?
I think it is actually on older systems.
Okay.
Elden Ring is 100% coming to Switch. It was like at the reveal. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look it up in real time because we have the technology.
Because the reason I was
We
thinking
don't even need the power up for that.
maybe this game won't be coming to Switch 2, but they are getting Duskbloods, which is a Switch 2 exclusive online Souls-like game. So I'm wondering if this is kind of the make good for maybe this game doesn't come to Switch 2, but Duskbloods does because it's capable.
But there's there's no cross play. Is there cross play and stuff in this?
No, that's the Achilles heel.
Yeah, so it's like I can't even see it coming to Switch 2 if.
Why not? I think it will.
Oh yeah.
Well, Elden Ring is, and if Elden Ring can run on it, and I'm looking here. It looks like there is a PS4 version.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it should then be able to come to Switch 2.
Yeah, so I don't see why not. One thing that I will say really quick that I thought was crazy is like I said, I bought 3 copies of it because there's no crossplay, and I have friends everywhere.
Wow, you're dedicated.
It runs better on Xbox Series X than it does on PS5 Pro.
Wonder what that is. That's weird.
I can tell you what it is. There's no patch for PS5 Pro, so it's the PS5 version that's running on a Pro, which you think would still be better, but PS5 has a lower range for its VRR. Also, caveat: it runs better on Xbox if you have a VRR display.
And there's no pisser probably on VRR, Night Rain.
No. So because the VRR range is smaller, the frames dip when you are running super fast on like this huge open world. The frames dip below the threshold of VRR on PS5, but it doesn't always get there on Xbox. The Xbox's wider range covers it with almost 100% uptime. So you don't get these huge spikes. And when I played on PS5, I expected this better fidelity, and it's worse. It's noticeably worse almost immediately when you start playing.
And this is like a fast game, right? Like I played a little bit of Elden Ring and stuff, and it's like it's not fast, but this is like.
Well, in Elden Ring, when you get the horse, that's like your base movement speed. Plus, you can jump like crazy high. There's no fall damage. You can scale. Awesome game.
Wow.
I don't expect it to end up being Game of the Year at the end of the year, but right now, it's the champion.
Well, hopefully they'll support that game and do more for it, and keep it alive. And
definitely sold enough.
Yeah. And I think the biggest issue, I know I've heard the single player problem and the dual player problem. It's really people are hoping they do something for solo players, and also duos would be helpful too.
Yeah, solo players they already got the patch out. It was like within the first week. It's already been. They were really swift with that. Duos that's still a problem. We always have to get a random, and it's not always the best. The best random you could possibly have.
Voice chat within the game, or is it just if you do a lobby?
No,
you're fine.
No, no voice chat.
People online, people
there's not even
aren't always the best.
Yeah, sometimes there were one time we got this kid from Australia. He was amazing.
It's like Metroid Federation Force, no voice acting. You just had emojis to tell you what to do. It's like, what?
No emojis either.
Oh no!
Actually, that's a lie. Sorry, there is emotes, but they're so inconvenient. You have to actually use that you'll be dead before it actually it's not worth it. There's definitely flaws. It's not perfect.
The curse of
hopefully,
they can't make it. Yeah, if they can't make the gameplay any easier, they're going to make the translation or explanations harder. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. No, but that's all I've been playing, and I'm a huge fan.
Excellent. Matt, I have seen you're playing one game I've heard really good things about. The other game my son is playing, and I watch him play. So tell us all about him.
Okay, so I think when I was on the show a few weeks ago, I was playing Expedition 33. I am still I'm 35 hours in. I have the ability, I think, to proceed towards that last act, but I just don't seem to be moving forward. I keep going backwards on the map and going to different places and doing some boss fights that I didn't finish up. And, now that I've upgraded, I can, just kind of going back and cleaning things up. And I am now playing El Paso Elsewhere, So speaking of bullet time, El Paso Elsewhere, and it's funny because when I was on last time, we talked about I just finished Max Payne, like the original for the very first time. I never played it before, so I'm now playing El Paso Elsewhere, which is basically like a Max Payne-esque game, but with vampires. So it's very like From Dusk Till Dawn. Indie game, like it's not like built on graphics or anything like that. It's built on like high octane gameplay, and the loop is awesome. And so I'm kind of part of this like I'm part of this like gaming book club that gets together every few weeks. They pick a game, we play the game, we get together and chat about it. So this is our current game, and it's a lot of fun. I'm still early. I'm like about 2 hours in. It's not a long game, but that platinum is not too hard. So the goal is to get the platinum. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great indie game, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
And available damn near everywhere other than Switch, if I'm not mistaken.
You can play it
iOS.
$5 on iOS, and like the first level is free. I'm like, man, like on the Backbone, I thought about it for a second. I was like, because I played the it's not a demo, but like the first level is free, so I played it. And then from there, you'd have to upgrade for $5. I'm like, it played really well.
Yeah.
The only problem on the Backbone
like
is
the way to do it.
So I love my Backbone. And so that's where I'll like when I do like any of my Xbox, like when I play like on cloud, I play on the Backbone and stuff, and I turn all my notifications off. And when I do like anything on the PlayStation, I've got my Portal. But the problem is that the Backbone, the buttons click. And my wife does not enjoy the buttons clicking when we're in bed.
Yep.
So that was the deciding factor. I mean, it wasn't even the trophies. It was the fact that I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to play this game in bed.
Yeah.
Who needs those?
I love that game.
Who needs clicky keys when they're gaming? I don't know. I know on the keyboard, yes, you want to be able to click, click, click. Let's have silent buttons, please.
Yeah. I was very surprised by the quality of the writing and the voice acting in El Paso Elsewhere, especially for the lead.
So good. So I get like it is like the voice acting is like out of control. And now I hear there's a movie.
Oh, yeah. There's a movie coming with I think it's like A24 or someone of that quality is producing it, and that dev's latest game that was previously Steam only is actually, I think it actually might have just dropped on PS5. It's called I Am Your Beast. It looks really cool. It's like a first person kind of El Paso Elsewhere. Maybe that's oversimplifying it, but it looks pretty cool. I would check out if you haven't heard of this game and you're listening, I would just check out like the opening monologue. And I think that is enough to sell you on how interesting it is. I'm a big fan of that game too, especially if you like Max Payne. It's a no-brainer.
Yes, and I second what Eric says. That opening monologue, I was like hooked. I was like, I didn't play anything. I'm like hooked. Awesome.
Currently on sale on Xbox, Canadian $18.19, so probably giving it away for free in the United States currency, and like $5 on iOS if that's the way you want to swing it. Awesome!
I did not know that developer also made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown. That's crazy. I didn't realize that. I Am Your Beast. That game, I did play a demo of that. That is a crazy game. It is really cool. But yeah,
really, I'm going to check that out.
They did. I mean, it's very cool. And for some reason, I thought El Paso Elsewhere. Somebody mentioned like, oh, it's got a PS1 aesthetic. But when I looked at the recent look, I'm like, no, it looks really nice. Looks very cool.
Yeah, a lot of people forget what PS1 really looked like.
I was going to say, like, this is like a little bit nicer.
Yeah. Check out the first Medal of Honor game on PS1. That's what they looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, very cool.
Yeah, great game. Highly recommend it.
So at a minimum, folks, check out maybe if there's a story-based trailer for the game, and they'll do that opening cutscene. Check it out, or just watch a trailer, maybe some gameplay, and see if it hooks you. So very, very cool. Yeah, I've heard great things about that game.
There's a physical copy as well available. I have that, and it's really cheap.
That is cool.
Damn, looking that up now too.
Okay, well there you go. I love how we find connections in games people played. So with that, I guess the question becomes: who in this crowd bought a Switch 2? Matt. There you go.
Get out of here.
Ah,
I got an
I
extra
have
one
my-
I'm
I do have
selling to
the
a
box.
coworker. So there you go. And I got the Pro controller. Woo!
Mine
my
had
Pro controller.
mine had dings in the screen.
Costco had them $10 off. So Mark, if Costco, well, you said there's like Costco within, I think 5 hours away. So sorry about that, but maybe you could order one if you're a Costco member. You're probably not though, if it's 5 hours away.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, but I know some people who are. But I did receive my Pro controller Saturday or yesterday. Anyway,
You said you were worried about getting
yeah.
it, and then you got it earlier.
It did arrive. Yeah.
I got mine June 6th from Walmart, but I actually ended up going to Costco Thursday morning. I showed up. There were like 5 people there. Ended up first in line, got mine, was the first one to check out. They said they lost the pallet of controllers. I'm like, oh no. They found them. We're good to go. And I got the bundle from Costco. It was a really good deal. It was the deluxe edition, but also came with a year of the expansion pass. So I ended up selling it to someone over in the nerd chat, or no, over on another chat group that used it because I didn't need it and it doesn't stack. So I'm a winner. But yeah, it was $525, and I got that. So it was a discount of like $25 for me. So good deal. So so Eric, how did you get yours?
Just walked in and bought it. The availability of these they're not sold out. It's not hard. I actually, like I said a second ago, I bought it on Friday, or it came out on Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Yeah. So Thursday, I actually had to go to GameStop to buy a gift for my nephew, and they had a bunch there, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then I got home, and I just was like, what am I doing? I'm obviously going to buy this at some point. What's the difference? It might even be more expensive down the road.
It's never going to be cheaper than it is now.
Those went out. So I just went on Friday, walked in, they still had them, bought it. I didn't actually open it until my screen protector showed up on Sunday. And then when that happened, I noticed there was 2 dings in the screen from the factory. And I just walked into GameStop today and exchanged it because they still have some. They're not sold out anywhere. It's not this one GameStop.
Crazy. It is surprising that you're saying that.
Online, they might be because of scalpers, but if you walked into a Walmart or a GameStop or a Costco,
I was trying to find one for my friend. Every single local store is sold out in hour to 2 hour radius around where we live.
Yeah, my Best Buy was sold out. I went by and checked in because I showed up the night before. There was a big line, and I just checked out.
So where I am in Halifax, there's 3 GameStops and 2 Best Buys, and all 5 of those stores have Switches right now.
Mark, I think you've got a connection right there. I think you've got the Canadian connection.
So the last friend that I have that was looking for a Switch got he got the last one online at Staples of all places today. They have been readily available. I ended up getting a second one. My wife ended up seeing how it was running and was just like, I need this. And so we're selling her OLED. So we got a second one, and I was lucky enough that I signed up for the Amazon pre-orders as soon as they went up, and I got it like the approval, like you can pre-order a Switch now. And it's like, it was launched yesterday. This happened on Friday, but it arrived Saturday. So it was very quick shipping through Amazon, and my Pro controller arrived at the same time. So we're rocking 2 Switch 2s in the house. So they are readily available if you luck out. But the craziest thing about it, I think we're going to do a deep dive into Switch 2. So I'll be very brief on this.
Yeah, we're going to do initial impressions, and then we'll go deep dive in 2 weeks when we've had it for a longer time. But this is just early impressions.
Cool.
Early reports are it's breaking sales records, shattering most sold console in a 24-hour period. Apparently, it sold over 3 million units within the first 24 hours, tripling the PlayStation 4's previous launch day record.
Wow.
Like,
I think it's the most available, though.
That's true.
Like, they is this a console launch done right? Like, did Nintendo just stockpile that bejesus out of this thing? Like,
Yeah, I think it's like technically one of those things that's technically true, but I don't think this was the plan. I'm pretty sure that Mario Kart and Donkey Kong were supposed to be launch titles. They got delayed. The Switches were made and they sat in warehouses while they tried to scramble some semblance of the launch lineup. And Donkey Kong still didn't make it, and they just kept manufacturing them because obviously they're going to sell. And they just ended up launching with a lot. You can all kind of tell too. There's some people that have battery issues because of how long the lithium ion batteries were sitting in warehouses, because of how how long the runway is between when they actually manufactured and delivered them to the warehouse and when they actually were launched. So there's like Nintendo even released an article on their website about how to like retrain the lithium ion batteries, and like because they were sitting there.
Yeah, there's a setting actually that says to set it to 90% because
that
it
setting
says,
on.
Because apparently if you set it to 100, if you don't, 100% is not the best way to keep your battery life cycle great. And as an EV owner, I've learned that as well. My EV is always set at 85%.
Phones have been doing that for years too.
Yeah, it's funny because I got my Walmart pre-order, which was just the console, no bundle. That got delivered on the 6th. I walked into Costco, got mine. So I am going to be the hero of a coworker who did not get one. So they're going to just get the console at price plus tax. So they're going to get that. So I feel like I'm doing my duty of being a nice person. But to your point, Eric, I looked at the sales online to see if I could be a horrible scalper. Not worth it right now. Everything's going at basically sale price plus tax. So that would tell me adequate supply, the ravenous fans who want one now, which if you think about it, Switch is huge. You've got all these ravenous people. I think Nintendo's doing it right, though. They're satisfying the audience right now. And then you get enough games in the fall, holiday, and you've got a great amount of consoles with more games, a Pokemon, all this stuff. Yep. It's perfectly poised and great. Yeah.
I use my Nintendo Switch. We have 2 Nintendo Switches. And my son is the big Switch guy in the house. So say I want to use it as like a Christmas gift, right? A holiday gift. Am I thinking buy it now?
Yes.
And wait? Or can I just wait? Because like I don't want to spend the money now.
Matt, consoles are unfortunately at this point never going to be cheaper than when they launch. I mean, we just saw the Xbox prices increase. So I would say at this point, tariffs might come in.
Not by Christmas. It's not going to go up by Christmas, though. This Christmas.
I don't think so, yeah. No, I think the price is locked in for the holidays. I would say as it gets closer to the holidays, there's going to be a sweet spot. Yeah. Right now, you've got launch, grabbing stock from all the shelves and whatever. The next refresh might be a great time, like sometime through the summer. That summer refresh when they're showing up in stores, not everyone's ravenous. Because by the time you hit like October, November, then you're going to get that like crazy holiday crowd that's like rushing in. There's a new Pokemon game. There's like, that's when you get people that are like, we need this. It's on a shelf. I'm grabbing it. Like you get that, any kind of console at that time. So if that's your plan, I wouldn't break your back trying to find one now, but I would try to find one before the fall. So, and there's going to be a summer refresh, 100%. So you're going to just see them popping up in stores. That's the time to grab them, in my opinion.
All right, something to consider.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say though is when you buy one, it's going to be the likely way that you'll buy it is by walking into a store. I think that there'll still be scalpers and robots buying the online stock. So I would right now buy a set of tempered glass screen protectors. And just so whenever that day comes and you do buy it, like that's there. So if you did have to open it, you could put it on right away. Because Nintendo has this like weird permanent plastic film on the screen.
Yes.
That is like, you could just blink and it will get scratched. So you're going to want that immediately. And those are like $10 on Amazon. You can just shove it in a drawer somewhere. Because it will be it will probably be spontaneous.
Like $16. Yeah. It was stupid cheap.
I will say this about the price though. Nintendo has said this is what the pricing is for launch. Does not mean this won't get more expensive because of tariffs. They are going to protect their pricing, and if they can go up. So this is what it is for now. That's why I always say at this point, none of the other consoles have gotten really that much cheaper. over the last 4 years. So I'm like, if you really want one, it's a gift. If you find one, get one. I would say do that because there's going to be no bonus, and that Mario Kart bundle is already a $30 savings because if you don't get it, Mario Kart's $80, and everybody wants Mario Kart. You don't want your kid to get bullied because he has Mario Kart, right, Matt?
God, I can see it. I can see it now.
There you go. Yeah,
I can see
You're
it
playing
now.
Mario Kart 8? What a loser!
Little loser. My son's the one that's going to like deck you in the face though if you say that to him. So
he'll hit you with the Switch. Well, if you can find a way to like make one of those switches disappear and trade it in, even better.
that's the plan.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Let's talk about this Switch, Mark. So you and I've got the Switch in front of us. Eric, you've got the Switch. Although we talked a little bit before the show, and you have not played much of it. So, Mark, what do you think?
It's fantastic so far. So Mario Kart World is awesome. I've played online. My brother and his fiance and my wife and I played online before she got hers. So it was like split screen. We used Switch chat, which was awesome.
Did you get the camera?
No, it works with any webcam. It works with the webcam I'm using right now.
Oh,
It's crazy. So don't buy the Switch camera. Use any old webcam like this crappy Microsoft webcam that I got like 6 or 7 years ago that just instantly plugged into the dock. It's not even a USB-C. USB-A plugs into the dock and it just
that's right.
works.
Doing it through the dock.
Craziness.
Docking it up.
I am thinking about upgrading my webcam. I've been thinking about it for a few weeks now because this one kind of sucks and you and Charlie both have new webcams and you look way better than I do. And I think a webcam might improve part of that. Otherwise, plastic surgery.
I'm blaming the camera, Mark. I'm blaming the camera.
That's it. I'm blaming the camera. But yeah, so it works with just any webcam. The voice chat works. It's just everything just works. It works seamlessly. I also played. I was playing Wind Waker on the GameCube emulator thingy, whatever it is. And Dave Moore, who does over the stuff at the Snack Network, he was playing Super Mario Kart World, and we were doing a game chat, and then we turned on the game streaming thing so he could watch me play Wind Waker. I could watch him play Mario Kart World. The frame rate was fairly horrendous, but good enough that I could watch him do stuff and be like, oh man, you just finished that challenge. He was doing some open world stuff. Like, you just finished that challenge with like a second to go. And same kind of thing. He could watch me do like an early little trial in Wind Waker. It's watchable. It's not like Twitch streaming quality, but to get a sense of what your friends are doing while you're just like shooting the shit, having a game chat session, like, it works, and it works really, really well. So I've been super impressed with that feature, and it's a feature that I kind of dismissed because Nintendo like built in a button that you have to pay for on the controller. I still think that's like ridiculous, but like, it works and it's fun. And you don't have to buy their stupid camera. So thumbs up all around for that so far. Game wise, again, Mario Kart World is awesome. The online's fun. We've played every single mode. Battle mode is super fun in this, and I haven't enjoyed a Mario Kart battle mode.
That just how does that work? So tell me. So I've literally, Eric and I were talking about this before the show. Free roam. I didn't know how to get in there. We had to look it up how to get into free roam. Very weird.
Yep.
Very strange that you have to push the plus button and then you just play the character that's on the screen. But tell me about the other modes.
So the other modes, they're standard, like kind of race, but you actually do. There are things that where you like race or drive to the next race. So like the open world plays a big part in this game. And that translates to every mode in the game. So like even the battle mode stages, when you're done your battle mode, there's time in between the online matches, and you can actually set the time, which is crazy. So you can have 30 seconds of like free range driving, or you can have 10 minutes where you guys can just be like, hey, that was a great battle. If anyone needs to go grab a drink, you can. We have 10 minutes in between matches, and the rest of us are just going to drive around and talk and like do funny stuff in this world. So super flexible. But
what is that?
yeah,
What is
the
that?
open
What is
world
it? What is the battle mode like? Is it just like you've got weapons, power ups,
balloon
you're trying to be
popping.
last man standing? That's all it is.
Yeah, basically you
Demolition
start off
Derby.
with 4 or 5 balloons. And if you hit someone with something, one of their balloons pop. If you get hit, one of your balloons pops. Whoever has the most balloons at the end, or if you're the last person with any balloons, you win. You can steal balloons, which came back from N64, which I love, and my brother and I got a big kick out of. The way you steal balloons is use a boost right into the person. High risk, high reward, because you can boost and they can shoot a weapon at you if they catch you quick enough. And it can backfire, but you can absolutely steal balloons. So we were trying to steal balloons from each other, and it was shenanigans, pure shenanigans. Then there's a coin battle mode, which got really savage. So you basically it's a battle mode as well. You're hitting each other with items, but when you hit them, coins fall out, and there's coins all around the world. So as you collect more, a stack grows on your head, so you become a bigger, more noticeable target.
Oh,
So
Like
you
that.
have to really try to hide if you've got a stack. Because at one point I got just wrecked. I had like 4 coins. My brother's fiance had like 18, and everyone started targeting her. So it was just like everyone kill Jean and make sure she doesn't have any coins, because right now she's Scrooge McDuck in it with like, it was, so it's really fun, and game chat adds to it so much, being able to like curse each other out, hear each other, just scream into the living room and not wear a headset, because the mic is really, really good at noise cancellation, at picking up things. You weren't sitting close to the console. It's built into the console. Crazily enough, the USB also works with external mics. So you can plug in a podcasting mic if you were worried about it, move it closer to you, and have the cable run from the podcasting mic to the dock.
Have you tried to run like a blender for like a breakfast smoothie in the background yet?
Oh, that's right. It's got the voice. Yeah.
I haven't personally, but Dave Moore was doing some stuff. And at one point he apologized for something. I think his wife was doing something, or anyway, there was supposed to be some noise. I heard nothing.
That's
so
awesome.
It works. He specifically
NVIDIA broadcast is in the Switch, folks. Guaranteed, confirmed. NVIDIA broadcast.
Wild,
yeah,
absolutely wild. Yeah.
I was going to say I've also heard that they have closed captioning as part of the chat, which means people can swear and you can put it in there, which is great.
It is crazy how well it works. The live translation,
that's pretty cool for people that can't hear, right?
Really good. Yeah.
And can talk. And they can, you can, that's amazing.
Yeah. And we tested that. We turned it on at one point and it was following along. Not only was it following along, it knew individual voices.
That's great.
So it wasn't just transcription of a chat that you think like, if you've ever done voice to text or any of that kind of shit, it blew it out of the water. Like it was getting dictation right. It got like 90-something% of the words right. There were a few that it messed up, but like, I'm talking, you could follow this conversation and assigned who was saying what in the chat. So you could literally read a transcript and not miss a single thing that each person said. It blew my mind how impressive that was.
Just remember, folks,
hard of hearing.
Mark, that might be used in court, so be careful.
Go nuts. Quote me on it. It is massively impressive. So if you have a friend and you're worried that they're short of hearing or they're whatever, they can't do it, like put them in there. Turn closed captioning on. It impressed the hell out of me. I was blown away by how good Nintendo pulled that off. So yeah, really, really good.
So for everybody that has a Switch 2, how are you managing your games? You can share in a local Wi-Fi with one system, I believe. And if you get a third system, like a Switch, where it's a game where it's compatible, you can loan the games out as part of your family and things like that. So, Mark, are you doing dual copies? Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah,
Nintendo money?
I still have my OLED, and and that's like Finn's console now. So he's 5. He doesn't have a credit card. So if he wants a game, I buy it, and the virtual card thing just works. So he wanted to play, I think it was one of the Pokemon games or something. So it was in my Switch because the virtual game cards work for everything. So it was in my Switch, and he just moved it over to his Switch, and it shows the little animation of taking it out of the Switch 2, putting it in the Switch 1, and it works. Haven't tried sharing anything with Loren's new Switch 2, but she has her own games in her own library, and she's doing her own thing. So I'm not really concerned about that yet. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But Switch 1 to Switch 2, library sharing for Finn and I, flawless.
Mark, you're going to burn that bridge when you get to it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a very
did he say that on purpose?
Yes, he did. He's a hateful man.
I just
He's
wanted to make sure you really wanted
all
to burn
gingers
the
are like
bridge.
that. I used to be a ginger and all went gray. Yeah. It all went gray. Well, very cool. I will say this. I will add on. I got the Pro Controller. Did everybody get a Pro Controller or no?
Mine is
so good.
Delayed. Like it was like I bought like the next shipment from Amazon. So end of the month, I think it's coming.
This is now the best base controller of any system.
It's not a base controller. It's a Pro Controller.
Oh, well, it's the only controller that Nintendo makes for it, except for the Joy-Cons. And I would say the Joy-Cons are like a non-pro, like a rookie controller, because
that's
this is
what they give you. That's what the box.
But this is the controller you can buy. So once again, this is the controller you can buy.
So are you saying it's better than an Elite, like an Elite?
Well, no, I'm saying base. Like if you buy like an extra PlayStation controller, because it only comes with one, you buy an extra one, you're buying this one, right? On the Switch. This one has back buttons, baseline. For $75, I got it. It's the only base controller that is not over $100 that has these type of back buttons. Has a port. It's got really good. The sticks feel better than any system I've ever played before. Better than any system.
Controller.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's zero resistance. Feels great. I don't know what they're going to be, if they're going to drift, but it's funny. They already put up on their website the Joy-Cons. If you need to return them for drifting, it's already up there. So, but I just think this is a solid, the feel though. The feel is matte, so beautiful. Nice. So much of an upgrade over the last Pro Controller. And I bet this has the best battery life of any controller out there. So I'm taking it to the bank, but it's for $85 really or $75. Yeah. So that's what I'm basing on.
They made it so the old Pro Controller cannot turn on the console.
Yeah.
That's why I had to buy that one.
That drove me crazy.
So
I turned in my old 8-year-old Pro Controller for $35, folks. Why are you holding on to that 8-year-old controller? Get rid of it.
Because it works fine. What button?
I know, like, but I don't need like back crap buttons. Compared to other ones. I don't think it feels as nice.
I haven't felt that yet. So for me, it's still good until I feel that one.
And it's got the C button. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do without a C button, Eric? Throw that thing in the trash. If you were Daddy D. Wally, I would take that controller and throw it on the couch right now.
It's not a couch. Slam it against the wall. Concrete wall over there.
It's trash. You know, once a new system comes out, everything is trash. It is trash that your parents would be ashamed if you owned. That's what I'm going to say.
I do like the old Pro Controller. There is one major flaw, which I know this one still has, which is why I can't say it's better than anything else, is it doesn't have analog triggers.
Correct. Yeah,
so
I don't know why they never did that.
And like the main packing games, Mario Kart, that's why the go button is A and not a trigger, because they don't give you analog triggers. It would feel bad.
Are the buttons analog? Face buttons analog?
No, but that's why, because it doesn't matter. Yeah.
However, if you remap the A button to the new little GR button or GL, whatever one it works better for you, you can directionally control projectiles in Mario Kart.
Nice.
Which is new. And I didn't know that until today. So what I mean is if your thumb is freed up and it's not holding in A and you're using your finger on the G button in the back of the controller, your thumb can move the control stick, which moves the camera all the way around. And if you want to fire a green shell to your side or diagonally or somewhere, you can look at that person and it fires in the direction that you're looking instead of straight ahead of you or straight back. So now you can direct projectiles wherever the hell you want to.
Pro tip from Mark Carabin.
So it's pay to
using
win.
the GL because you can't.
I'm
Your thumb
joking.
doesn't work on the A button and the stick, so most people don't realize it. But I tried it tonight, and holy shit, it actually works. So
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the updates is with Switch, every game you can customize the controls now, which is a huge advancement versus just system level, which doesn't always work. And a lot of people are saying, if you don't even care about those buttons, make them the capture buttons, because most people don't even think about it. It's easier to capture than looking for that capture button. So you can make it, if you don't care about that, make it a capture button. It's right there. Good to go.
Yeah.
Very cool. Love it.
I instantly swapped the camera controls on Wind Waker because they were flipped and horrendous, and now it plays like a perfectly normal modern game. It's fantastic.
Yep. So with the Switch, if you get the expansion pass, you get the GameCube edition games, which are great. They are updated, look beautiful, I would say. I don't know if they're up-resed or whatever. They look really, they've never looked better, which is great. And my first game I played on the Switch, which is just sad to say, was Zelda 2. No wonder why. I don't know why I played it. I just did. I love Zelda 2.
That's
Zelda 2. Zelda 2, boys.
Wind Waker. I can't say too much.
The second game I played was Soul Calibur 2, as Link as it should be. Was amazing. That game looks so awesome. Looks really good. And you got like you've got not Ridge Racer. You've got
F-Zero.
GX.
Oh.
You've got that. And then what's the other game that's there?
There's only 3, I think.
It's just Wind Waker, F-Zero, and Soul Calibur. So if you want the GameCube startup screen, the really satisfying startup thing, when you're starting the classic, when you're starting the app, hold the control stick in any direction, and it will play that blonk thing. It's great.
And it comes with the European versions, which is weird because I'm like, are the European versions much different? I don't know. But you get 6 copies.
You can turn that off in settings, so it's just
exactly. 3. And then I did get my GameCube controller. Woohoo! Very nice. If you're an SO member, you can order that.
Power
so
controllers work too. I did confirm.
Very cool. And apparently it's got some analog, like you can do some like motion controls with the controller, which is very weird. But yeah, that's what I played. And then I did play this game. I'm like maybe one of the few people that bought this game. I had an old Target gift card out of the blue. I spent $10 whole at Target so I could have like a memory of this game, like a physical edition. I guess this is the physical edition, collector's edition, what do you call it? It is the Welcome Tour. The Welcome Tour is about the most sanitized game, has so little personality for a Nintendo game. You're like this little figure guy who's walking across the system doing things, but there's no personality to him. It's almost like the Wii Fit instructor is in this game. That's how boring it is. I'm like, they couldn't get Mario to give you the tour. They couldn't let you play all of the Mario characters. Anybody? You know, what is it? What's Tingle doing? He's out of work. Give him a job, Nintendo. Make Tingle give me this tour.
Tingle Switch 2 tour. I'd play it.
So I got to use, and this is the game if you really want to use like the mouse controls, this is the game for you because there's a lot of mouse controls. You have to get high scores by moving things. It's a game. I'm hoping there'll be more to it and a reason to buy it, but this is the game that I feel like
I saw it's like a 50 on Metacritic or something.
Oh,
is that the game?
I'm guessing this might be your bundle this fall. You get the Switch plus this for $500.
Crazy.
Big miss. But Mario Kart looks beautiful. I'm excited to play the free roam, and that's where I'm at. I got to get some accessories. I do need to get the screen protector. I've been waiting to get that. I do need a case. Other than that, I don't know if you need many more accessories at this point. So
I got a memory card.
I did too.
Stuff, but
the Walmart brand is like one of the few third-party Switch Express cards. And it's like literally $30 more or less than the other ones. I paid $35 for my 256. You can get a 512 for $70. It's ridiculous. So if you can go to Walmart, and it's a Lexar brand rebrand. So it's not like a cheapo. So if you get it, get it. Wow. So there we go. That's where we're at. And by the way, you can do this if you're a freak like me. You can turn your Joy-Cons upside down, backwards, and you can play upside down and backwards. And they work.
If you watch my unboxing video on Instagram, I did that.
So we'll see how
I
that
didn't
goes.
even notice. I did. I was just so excited. I took it out of the package. I was like, let's see how these connect. And I connected the two, and then I realized it was upside down. So I was like, oh, that happened. Let's move on.
Yep, absolutely. So there you go, folks. Hopefully we'll talk more about the Switch 2 next week when we've got a couple of weeks under our belts. More games are coming out, and we'll talk about that as well. So with that, it's time now to get to the bonus round. But before we do that, here's an ad. Hey, Secret Friends Unite, let me tell you about Zencastr. We use them for our show, and now they're supporting us. Zencastr is now the all-in-one solution making podcasting easy. It's the ultimate web-based podcasting solution. Provides high-quality audio and video podcast production and hosting. With a full suite of professional tools, podcasters can seamlessly record, produce, and publish studio-quality content, all from one dashboard. Being a creator has never been easier. And we chose Zencastr because of the ease of use, high quality output, and it makes it super easy for our guests to come on. We had multiple solutions we tried before, and Zencastr has just been the best fit for us. Why Zencastr? It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sounds and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Have you ever worried what you sound like? Zencastr's post-production process makes you sound buttery smooth. It automatically removes those ums and ahs in your recording. It removes those awkward pauses in conversation too. Set the right podcast loudness and levels while reducing background noise with the click of a button. So if you're interested in making an easy, high-quality podcast just with the click of a browser button, go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my code SFU1. You'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Now back to the show. So before we get into the bonus round, Mark, you've got a question.
Yeah, Chipotle Bear wrote in on Discord, said, one, great guests. So Eric, Matt, big, you've got the thumbs up from Chipotle Bear. The question is, okay, if there was one game from Xbox and one game from PlayStation that are not currently on the Switch 2, but you think they should be, what would those two games be?
I can go. For our PlayStation, I'm going to pick Astrobot. I think that makes sense.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
For Xbox, I'm going to go weird, and I'm going to say Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. The best Elder Scrolls. And a game that I would love to play on a Switch because I can just sit around or play portably, I should say. I don't think I've ever had. I mean, you could probably do it on a Steam Deck or whatever. I don't own a Steam Deck. Yeah, that game is amazing.
But not even Oblivion, which was just remastered.
I don't think that will run on a Switch.
Okay.
I'm actually very sure that won't run on a Switch. It barely runs on a Series X. And
it's only 120 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Does that even fit on the Switch?
Half of it. Or no, two copies would fit on the Switch.
Yep.
Oh, then do it. I'm joking. Don't. It's going to be your battery will last 30 seconds.
But a beautiful 30 seconds it would be.
The best 30 minutes, 30 seconds in gaming.
Close shut the jaws of battery dead. But yeah, that's what I would pick.
All right. Excellent. Matt.
For shits and giggles, Bloodborne should be on. So
Bloodborne should be on everything.
Are we saying Switch 1? Like the original Switch?
Switch 2.
Switch 2.
So
Oblivion wouldn't run on Switch 2? Bummer.
Original would.
The original, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, all right. So since Eric already said Astrobot, it's probably what I would have said. However, I'll take it back a little bit. It doesn't have to be current, correct? It could just be anything off the library. I think the Little Big Planet series would be a lot of fun on Switch. I think that would get like, and playing that handheld would probably be cool. I don't know if like Little Big Planet 3, I don't even know if that's supported really anymore. But that would be a fun handheld game. And then Xbox. See, I am pretty new to the Xbox ecosystem. In terms of this is my first true generation. So everything is so new to me that's been exclusive for so long. So I don't even know, like, are there, like, for example, like, is Psychonauts on?
I don't think so.
Was it on Switch?
I feel like,
or 2?
Psychonauts 2 on Switch?
It's not. No, it wouldn't run on a Switch.
There you go.
Switch 2 it would,
See,
though.
it wouldn't run on a Switch. Psychonauts 1, which I did play, because I do have some Xbox experience in the past. But yeah, I think I would go with Psychonauts. I guess the Psychonauts, maybe they're like, both of those games. I just feel like platformers and that quirkiness would be perfect on a Nintendo Switch.
Psychonauts Collection would be pretty dope on Switch, right? But both 1 and 2.
Be cool.
Yeah.
That
would be cool.
That'd be great. Todd.
So I'm going to go a little weird, but I think it makes sense. I'm doing like a Ratchet and Clank collection. I don't know which games, but maybe even just the PS4 games. Maybe, I don't know, Kraken, the most recent one would work. But I mean, I just think the Ratchet and Clank games are so good. The weapons, the platforming, so good. Whether you can do like a collection of like PS3, PS4 games and just get them everywhere, because everybody should be able to play them. So I put them on that Switch too, play them on Xbox. Ratchet and Clank, what are you doing? Those games are wonderful. They should be played by everyone. So that's my gift to Switch 2 from PlayStation. They'll love it. And I'm going Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts on Switch, because that's the Banjo game the Nintendo fans don't have. And it's a really fun game that my son loves that game to pieces, and building things and just having fun looks beautiful. So that's what I'd say.
All right. I like it. For me, you guys stole all my PlayStation choices. I think Spider-Man, for very similar reasons to Eric's choice. I think just being able to swing around in handheld mode would be just so fun, and doing little missions and collectibles and this and that. It's a perfect game you want to beat that game on a big screen, but being able to pick at it in handheld mode for those like little mindless extra missions and stuff.
Oh, the challenges and stuff.
Yeah. Fantastic. Same reason I just bought the Arkham collection on Switch, because I heard they run better without even a patch or anything. I heard they run better on Switch too. So I'm going to be testing those out. I bought them last night and haven't even started them up. For Xbox, this is a tough one for me. Because my initial thought is Sea of Thieves, because that obviously could run like last generation Xbox hardware. It's on everything now. I think crossplay would just add more people to the sea, which is super fun. But I'm also very curious if they could scale down and make the Gears of War remaster that we're undoubtedly going to be talking about in a minute. Could they make that run and again open it up to even more people, kind of like they pitched with like it's coming to PlayStation? Is that a thing? So if we're talking about being able to like magically scale something,
assume it will work.
Assume it will work, and we can just pick anything and assume it will work. There's magicians doing a port. I'm very tempted to say Gears. Otherwise, give me Sea of Thieves and let me sail the seven seas in handheld mode. I think that's great.
Cool.
I think one of the things about the Switch 2 that I think people underestimate, it's the only console with NVIDIA hardware which includes DLSS. DLSS rocks out AMD FSR. So it's going to do a lot of heavy lifting basis the software rather than the hardware. So I think we're going to see a lot of impossible ports. Like we got Witcher 3 on Switch. We got some other games. So I think we're going to see some games that even Cyberpunk.
Switch 2, we've got Cyberpunk. We've got a very, very competent version of Hogwarts Legacy. They're already doing these ports that are taking current gen, next gen assets. And they I don't know if you guys watched the developer thing for Hogwarts Legacy, but they said we could have started with the Switch version and kind of tried to upscale it. They scrapped that. Like if you download it, there's 2 separate versions on your Switch. The new, the Switch 2 version is using current gen, next gen.
Probably based
Xbox.
off the PC version, I guess.
Yeah,
I would think it's probably based off the PC. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's no loads. It's all seamless. It's basically, an Xbox Series or PS5-esque version of the game. I'm sure there's some things turned down. Haven't really played it enough to say one way or the other, but it looks impressive.
Yeah, from what Digital Foundry said, the Switch 2 version of Cyberpunk is better than any of the PS4 or Xbox versions. So it outdoes the old gen. It's not as good as the PS5 or Series, but that's still a lot to say considering we heard this system is PS4 level. So good things are ahead for the Switch. Can't wait. It's got 3 times the memory it has, can do chat, which we never thought it could do. So there we go. So with that, we're getting into the bonus round, which is our reactions to the PlayStation State of Play, Summer Game Fest, and Xbox Showcase. And just a precursor, we're also going to be scoring each one of these shows 1 out of 10 for 3 categories: content, the games they presented, the wow factor. Was there any games that are like, wow, I didn't expect that to be there. Wow, it's a mic drop. Holy cow. And the presentation. Was it entertaining? If the games weren't great, would you still be entertained? Is what I always say. So there we go. And a caveat, Mark said, Todd, I have only seen one of these. And quite honestly, I didn't see it in real time. So there we go. But we're going to do a good job, gentlemen, the 3 of us, of kind of painting a picture for Mark so he's well informed. So I think we're all good. And I think we'll do it this way. So if anybody is interested in taking each one of the shows as kind of like their baby, if you want, I can go through it. But I think it's more fun to have each one of the people that has something that will bring it to it, that watched all of these, bring it forward. So I am, Eric, you know what? I'll take the heavy lifting off your chest. I'll remove the Sony Pony banner off your chest. I'll take this one on. So I'll start with the State of Play. This launched on Wednesday, which was weird because it's like, oh, this is going to come out before everybody. So it's probably going to blow us all away. So essentially, this was a standard State of Play. We did get some personalities on screen, but it was really to talk about what was going to be coming on PS Plus, some a little bit developer, feedback. But other than that, it's a standard State of Play. But with that, the games that were announced, and stop me if you want to talk about any of them, I'll go through them quickly, and you can tell me if it's a yay or nay and why you're excited about it. So the game, the State of Play kicked off with Luminous Arise. This is by the team who made Tetris Effect. This is also going to be coming to PlayStation VR 2.
And Luminous.
Yes, and it's Luminous. So if you played it on the PSP, it's a puzzle game by that team.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's cool. It's coming out very soon this fall. All right, moving on. Pragmata. This is the game that was shown at the original PlayStation 5 showcase. We didn't know
it exists.
Making a very weird game. We didn't know what it was. They originally said this was going to be delayed. They showed a new trailer of gameplay. Basically, you're like a big daddy with a little android girl named Eve, and she has powers. You use them with her. This game's coming out in 2026. I thought it looked pretty cool.
I mean, Capcom, I guess I'm a Capcom fanboy. So, I mean, I like Capcom. It looked awesome.
And that was this is actually coming out. I thought this game was dead and arrival, was never coming back, but in fact, it came out and said it's coming out in 2026.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the next Lost Planet DICE game that I love so much. But this is kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next game is a weird game by Suda51. Romeo is Dead Man. If you know Suda51, he makes very weird games with Grasshopper Studio. I don't know. This game, you're doing a lot of
Saying
damage.
weird
It's
game by
very.
Suda51 is super redundant.
I thought it was like a Rick and Morty game for a while. I thought, is this like going to be a weird one? Because the intro scene is very weird. The art style is very awkward and weird, but the combat
This
looks
game,
cool.
this game hit for me. Like I was actually surprised because I've never really played any of that. I mean, they're so like those games. His games are so violent and stuff like that. I've never really jived with a few of them, but I'm like, I love the style and just like the flashiness. And I'm for whatever reason, we'll see. But I was excited about this. This looked cool.
When Suda games hit, they hit. Like if there's something that grabs you in one of them, like,
Exactly.
prepare to get hooked. Because when his games like get their teeth into you, like they usually dig in deep.
You have to watch the trailer. It's so weird, so odd. The opening
Super
sequence.
weird.
Then you get into the combat. It's got some weird elements of like freezing skeletons, and you got to hit them. And it's like I don't know what it's going for, but apparently it's tied into another series that he did. So very interesting. One of the games that came out that people are very excited about is Final Fantasy Tactics. This I think is coming out everywhere. Very cool. Mm-hmm. And it's got kind of the modes of you get the original version, but you also get then the new updated version. So it's kind of those, and you can do it in real time and just see them, between it's like the Halo edition where you can see the old 8-bit graphics or 16-bit graphics or whatever in that. So I'm glad this is coming out. This is going to be perfect for all the systems. September 30th. Very cool. If you're into Souls-likes, Neo 3 is coming to raise hell. This is, I think this is Koei Tecmo's main franchise. I didn't realize there were 3 games. If you know, you know. I don't know, and I don't care.
Yeah,
Eric,
they're hard.
Are you into these games?
I haven't actually played Neo. The first one I will say is the first one. Neo was kind of like the first Souls like that I can remember, like the first game that's not Dark Souls, not FromSoft, but trying to do that. And I am somebody who was a huge fan of Ninja Gaiden back on the original Xbox, Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden Black. And that's the same team. So it's kind of like a Ninja Gaiden Dark Souls like marriage. I think they did a good job. I would say that game is good. The second one though was very good. The second one is a much better game. It feels like they kind of had a lot of good ideas in the first game, and then they really were able to put it together in the second game. I don't know what the third game's going to be like. I don't think the trailer showed it that much. There's kind of like a big difference between 1 and 2, and it seems like it's leaning more towards 2. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't like how these games are exclusive. I think that Team Ninja is a prolific studio that is able to like produce so many games, and I think that it feels fragmented if you don't have all the platforms, because you have something like Wolong that's multi-plat, Neo's exclusive, and then you have they made the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I think 3 that's exclusive to Switch, and then they have Rise of the Ronin exclusive over here. Like it's I think they do themselves a disservice there, but no, I think it's going to be good. I didn't realize that the Neo 2 sold strong enough to warrant a sequel, so that's good to see too.
I honestly didn't know where this game. Sony didn't do as good a job as Xbox in saying where this game is at, but it's on PS5 and PC, and there's a demo available right now. So if you want to play it, but it's not for me. But Sony, it's a weird one.
I was going to talk about that during the Xbox thing, but since you mentioned it, I might as well get it out of the way now.
Yeah.
The difference between Sony and Microsoft for these state of plays, showcases, whatever you want to call them, like the fact that Gears of War Reloaded had a massive chunk dedicated to like announcing that it was available for Sony, that
everywhere
play together.
Yep.
That it's
cross-play, cross-save,
cross-save, everything, all this kind of stuff. Like they made such a big point of it to be like, we're gaming for everyone. We just want everyone to have fun. The fact that that was such a big deal at an Xbox specific, this wasn't like summer gaming. This was Xbox's time to shine. And they spent that much time talking about PlayStation. the fact that when you go on PlayStation's website or watch any of these trailers, there's not another logo. It says 007 is coming to PlayStation this fall or whenever it launches. That's coming to everything. Like, there's nothing. They've removed any other logo, any other mention of any other thing. If you watched this or even read the blog post on Sony's website, you would think the PlayStation 5 is the only fucking console available in the world.
Well, plus PC. They at least will say PC typically. So,
like,
yeah,
it's
giving you a little bit of
different
crumb.
mentality that it's just like, it was stunningly, glaringly
But Mark,
obvious
you'll see
when
the
I
same thing from
went
Nintendo.
back.
Nintendo will not tell you where else it's playing.
And
So
yeah,
Nintendo
I
and
know.
Sony are both doing the same thing.
This is also new this year, and I know we're going to talk about this, but I mean, I think in last year's showcase for Xbox, it was Xbox, and I think this was a huge statement.
absolutely.
This is a huge statement, and I know we're going to talk about it, but this is Xbox basically announcing we are a third-party publisher, and you're going to get these games anywhere you want to play these games, and that's a huge statement. That's Xbox saying, like, play your goddamn video game. Right.
Yeah. And it's for me, this was such a generational like pivot point that watching the Xbox showcase and going back and reading and watching trailers about everything else, it just stood out to me for every single thing that I saw that wasn't like, this is available on this is available on that. Like, we'll release this. This is also kind of like,
yeah, I think there's also like a shock value because we are products. Like the four of us are products of console wars, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think there's such a
like a shock of the console wars.
There's a shock. Yeah. There's a product that survived there, but there's like a shock value to it, right? Where like we're like, you know, the 1%ers and the other 99%ers are like, you know, wait, what? Like, what's the difference? Like, they didn't even notice, probably.
Yeah.
So
probably not. Yeah.
You know, going forward, I'm actually, and I'm sure let's get back into it, but I'm going forward. I'm so interested to see what does next year's summer, or actually, what does this winter look like when now you have, is it like now like Jeff Keighley versus Microsoft? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's going to be a little bit of competition now because Microsoft is like, well, wait a second, like we can showcase anything.
Yeah, I think this summer was Xbox versus everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they won.
Yeah. It was such a status quo shift.
Yes.
And there's a before and after point. And it's like you said, like watch Nintendo's, watch this, watch that, watch Microsoft last year. But like, there's no going back from this one. I'm going to notice that every single time. And I'm going to notice how ready to go for just gaming in general Xbox is. And I think that's going to play into their brand so much more than anything else in the last several generations have played into anyone else's brand.
You're going to have some Xbox fanboys taking sledgehammers to their Xboxes and throwing them out windows and stuff because they're going to be freaking out. Yeah, but you know, it's like that kid that like sawed his like, you know, PlayStation in half or something. Like, I don't remember the video.
Me, it makes me prouder to be an Xbox fanboy. Like, I love my Nintendo, but I also love my Xboxes. And like, this moment made me more proud to have an Xbox because it's just like, they just get it.
Well, think about it this way. Imagine if Sega was out now and the Dreamcast just died and they had a presentation. That's where Sega would be, right? It'd be like, hey, our games are everywhere now. That's exactly where we're at with Xbox. Even though they have hardware, it's still
Yeah, but they also just announced a kick-ass new piece of hardware, so it's not like they're out of the hardware business.
Well, they announced a hardware that they're not actually going to build. They branded it and are going to put software on it, but Asus ROG is making that hardware. So that's a weird thing. We'll talk about that a little bit. But
let's finish off. This,
so we got the first. So Sony got the first hit on the 007 First Light game. This game was everywhere. It just wasn't at Sony. Mads Mikkelsen showed up in Xbox talking about this game as well, along with Hitman. Essentially, we're getting a game as the young James Bond. It's going to be third-person game. very much stylized. It's the origin story of James Bond on the screen. I've read a comic book based on the origin of James Bond. It's very cool how he's brought in. Hopefully it follows some of that. But yeah, this is IOI. Hitman dev bringing James Bond to the screen. I thought this looked pretty cool, but I know some people may be disappointed.
I've been a Bond fan since I was a kid. I love the Bond movies. I've read a bunch of the books.
Mark, you were also a James Bond Jr. fan, the cartoon? Hopefully not.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I've been a Bond fan for a long time. My grandmother got me into it. So now when I watch things, it's a fun way to remind me of her. So yeah, like a new game with a fresh new, just a video game Bond. This doesn't look like Daniel Craig or any other James Bond. This could be a franchise. This could be like a separate Bond universe that we get multiple things. I was kind of leery that they didn't show too much gameplay at all during this, most of the trailers and stuff, but like, I'm excited.
I'm curious if it's going to be like, because I don't know if you remember back at 360, IOI did Hitman Absolution, which was very much like a pretty linear, action heavy, like story game, for lack of a better term. And then Hitman, obviously, the recent ones are like a big open sandbox, immersive sim style. So I'm curious which route they're going to go. I feel like I personally prefer the Absolution route, but I know like Hitman fans definitely do not prefer that route, and they're fans of IOI, I should say. So it's going to be interesting to see like more in-depth look at the gameplay.
Yeah. It's been too long since we have a good James Bond game, and I'm glad we're getting it. And this should be very exciting. And it's available, going to be everywhere. I'm assuming we're going to get a Switch 2 port as well. We'll see more about that.
Announced it already.
Oh, they did. Oh, that's right. They did. Sorry, that's actually the first appearance of the game was when we had the Switch. So I forgot that. So yeah, there we go. Thank you for the reminder for that. So really quick, we'll hit the rest of these things. Arc Systems show, and this was to me the mic drop. This was the last thing they showed. Arc System Works is making a Marvel fighting game that is exclusive to Sony, because Sony essentially said, "Hey Disney, we'll make a fighting game, and we'll get you a developer that'll do it." So they did all the heavy lifting. They got a great relationship, and this game looks dope as hell. We're going to get more characters. Basically, it's a 4v4 with an Japanese-centric take on these Marvel characters. We've got Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, Iron Man, Storm. Who else am I missing? Ghost Rider.
It was mildly off-putting to see a super Japanese speaking Captain America. But aside from that, this game looks dope as hell. And that was just like me getting hung up on like, why is Captain America Japanese?
It's in a Japanese.
They just don't have the American actors yet.
Exactly.
The gears started turning in my head of like making that like kind of work in like a different timeline kind of.
Especially because he's like World War II era, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I love the Japanese really people.
There. I was like, I'll accept any other Japanese versions of Marvel characters, but the stars and stripes on a Japanese dude was just like, what? What?
I think it's just a Japanese reimagining, maybe. Yeah. But very cool. We'll see where this goes.
And then they had that fight stick. They had that fight stick revealed, and I haven't used a fight stick in like 25 years, and I'm like, oh man, those were the days. Those were the days.
They announced a fight stick. It's wireless. I do have a fight stick for PS4 that works on PS5, but this one looks dope. They didn't announce a price, and it's coming out in 2026. So there you go. New hardware was announced at Sony. Other than that, I'm just going to go through these other releases really quickly. You stop me if you want to talk about it. Silent Hill F got a reveal. That's very Japanese. It's coming out September 25th. Bloodstained got a surprise trailer. The Scarlet Engagement looks amazing. I thought it was a new Castlevania game, but it's by the guy who made Castlevania. Baby Steps, that trailer is weird and gross. If you know that game, you know what that game. Let's see. Other than that, I'm trying to think of any other games that were really cool. The Mortal Kombat Legacy collection is really cool. I'm sure that's coming out everywhere, but I love that the fact that it's basically a documentary plus all of the classic Mortal Kombat games 1 through 4, and I bet we might even get we're getting some weird handheld versions. It's dope. I love that digital clip.
The Game Boy version.
Probably get a Game Gear, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a Game.com version. Sure, bring them all on.
There was a few.
I have this in my notes.
There was a few games that there was also a few games that, I don't know if you had mentioned that I actually really liked, like the Hirogami game, which is like all origami.
Yes,
that game
looks dope.
That looks amazing. That looked absolutely stunning.
Bandai Namco is making that. So it's going to be quality, a very indie-like game coming from Bandai, which is very cool.
I know we already saw the Ninja. Like I feel like the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was already revealed, but this trailer was like a nice sell. Like it was a great trailer.
It's not a Castlevania. It's like a standard, straight up platform action game, which is great.
And then what was the name of that multiplayer? Well, there's Sword of the Sea, which was from
Tides of Tomorrow. No, there's Swords of the Sea, which is
Swords of the Sea, which is
Journey
team. But was it called Tides of Tomorrow?
Tides of Tomorrow by the Road 96 team. It's about that looks very interesting. I don't even know how to explain it.
Really freaking cool. There is a blog post, and I think I sent it maybe to you, Eric. There is a blog post that does an incredible job explaining that game. And after I read it, I'm like, I think I really want to play this game. Like, I just want to see how they freaking got it to work. But essentially, like, you're following somebody else that already played the game. And like you're tied to whatever choices that this other player made in the game. So if they did so they might block you off from something. If they made like a choice that maybe like the town or somebody didn't like, then those actions and repercussions affect how you're treated. And there's like a whole, I don't know how this game is going to continue down the road. I don't know how this game lasts several years, but I'm super interested. It seemed really cool. And like the art style and stuff was awesome. Like it was super colorful and there's like some kind of disease. It's like some kind of disease with plastic, and like plastic has invaded.
Microplastics. I love it.
Yeah. You wake and you now have contracted this disease, and everyone that contracts it like wakes up in the sea with with no memory. Everyone's got freaking no memory of anything and how they got there. And you're following the footsteps and actions of other gamers before you. There, I just said gamers for Jeff Keighley. I just said gamers.
Players, whatever you are.
Whatever you are. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. That game looked cool.
Very cool. So I'm going to ask round robin. We'll finish up this segment very quickly. Everybody give me your content scores for this. 1 out of 10. So the games presented.
I'll go first. I would say like a 7. I'll go up to an 8. There wasn't any bad games that were shown.
All right.
Is there a sax? Am I going crazy? Is there a saxophone playing somewhere in the background?
Oh, my son's playing trumpet. Sorry, he's upstairs. I'm trying to mock it.
Oh my God. I'm like, no one's reacting to this. I swear there's a saxophone or a trumpet somewhere.
I wish I had.
You didn't know that Todd has theme music wherever he goes?
It's our theme song. It's following you around. Yes, my son is playing his trumpet upstairs. I'm back from Taekwondo. I apologize. You won't hear this, folks. If you're listening to this show, it's not going to show up, but you guys all may hear it. So you have a background soundtrack by Logan Oxtra.
I love it.
Gotcha.
Okay, Matt, what's your score for content?
Are you doing 0.5s or just straight numbers?
Anything. Yep. Nope.
I'm going to go for content. I'm going to go 8.5. There was a lot more here that I want to play than I don't want to play, and that's usually not always the case.
Okay, Mark.
I'm gonna kind of go status quo. I was super impressed as someone that doesn't even own a PlayStation 5. I was super impressed with the stuff they showed off. I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Excellent. I'm gonna give this. I think if the Marvel game didn't show up at the end, I would have been a little bit more less excited about this. But I'm gonna give it a 7.5 as well because of the lack of first party games. We got Yotai. But that's about it. So a little disappointing to me. So we'll go to wow factor. So this is mic drops. Just like, wow, I couldn't believe that. Let's go with that. Eric, back to you.
Like a 3. There was nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Matt.
Mic Mic drop. I'm gonna go
like just big. Like, oh wow, I didn't expect this game to be here. Big event. Yeah.
I guess I don't have it. I guess I don't have expectations. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go 6.
Okay,
I'll go 6. Like, I don't think anything like. I don't think I dropped my microphone, but I was definitely like, oh, that's cool.
Okay, Mark.
The only thing truly surprising on this one for me that was like mind blow what was the Marvel fighting game. So I'm gonna go with a 5, I think, for wow factor surprise, because that was, especially when we look towards the Xbox One and comparing it to the Invincible Fighter, this looks so much more fluid, so much cooler art style, so much more just dynamic and interesting, and such a unique take on the characters, and a true, straight up true surprise. So the rest of the show kind of brought it down because there was not as many, like I said, first party, big bomb drops, that kind of stuff. It was solid, but I think 5 makes sense for this.
Makes sense. I'm going to give this one a 6 because I was really excited about the Bloodstained game because I like, oh, is this a new Castlevania? Really like the first game. This one's probably going to be much better, and the Marvel game. So I'm going to give it a 6. So yeah, we'll go with that. Presentation. So guys, presentation.
Oh no, Eric first.
Yeah, I'm basing presentation off of like I'm kind of like you had mentioned. There's no first party. I was docking points for that in this category, so I'm going to go like a 4. I think that the company that's making the presentation, like their offering should be like considered as part of the presentation, and they didn't do anything really in terms of their first party. So yeah, I would say like a 4.
I thought it flowed well. I thought it paced well. I was for example, it started off strong for me because I had nostalgic reasons to be excited about Luminous. And there were a couple of things that hit right off the bat. I'm not I'm like kind of like not into first party doesn't affect me. Maybe I'm just dead inside. I don't know. So the presentation, I'm going to go with a 7 because it looked good. It flowed good, even though that's not proper English. It was good. It was a good presentation.
Can't debate that. State of play is typically like, yep, it's a state of play, and it doesn't. I mean, sometimes it does points, sometimes it doesn't. Mark, since you didn't watch this, based on all of our impressions,
yeah,
it's state of play. What would you give it?
Yeah. So having read the blog post, watched the trailers that I thought sounded interesting. I'm going to say this was probably, based on how it sounds, this would probably be like a 6 or 7 for me, maybe even higher if I actually watched it, because I like and appreciate a state of play or a presentation that gets to the point, that starts off and just shows trailers. There might be a few talking points at some point. I don't mind when, some executive comes out and says, here's our new fight stick, or here's this trailer, or here's a documentary that you're going to be able to watch about this collection of games. And also we're doing the collection of games. Like, it sounds like the pacing was right and it had a few, decent showcases. So I'm going to say nothing, again, without any big bombs, probably sounds like a 6 or 7 fair kind of, good presentation.
I won't belabor anything else. I'll say it's a 7. It was what I expected, and there weren't anything to derail it. It didn't outstay its welcome. It delivered. I'm going to give it a 7. It's a hardworking 7. We'll go it that way. So I will score these up, but we're going to get to the next showcase, and that is the Summer Game Fest. Who would like to take us through this? And the link is there.
I'll do the
Matt's
I'll
got
do
it.
the Summer
Okay,
Game
Matt.
Fest.
And Matt, we're going to go through the order, so I got this right. Eric, Matt, Mark, and Todd for feedback on the back end. So I can just keep track. So there you go. Take it away.
Okay, so I don't know if this is it. Actually, I think this is in the correct order. But the show started off with Mortal Shell 2, and this game looked pretty freaking rad. And then when I saw it was Mortal Shell 2, I was like, oh, did you guys play the first Mortal Shell?
Yeah. It was good. It seems like they really leveled up though.
They really I feel like they really poured in a lot of a lot of the feedback and stuff. I always play a good Souls-like. I don't get through them, but I play them. This looked sinister and really, really awesome.
It's super gross, and I could tell by the dripping things coming off the dudes with big swords.
Yes, it's definitely a cool concept. I love how some of these Souls-like games, they take those elements, but they really pour their own unique idea into it. And I think Mortal Shell was a pretty cool idea. And then of course, I mean, we did not get far into the show before Jeff's best friend, Hideo Kojima, shows up on stage, and we see, and of course the marketing push is there. Death Stranding 2 is coming out. I mean, the scene, my kids walked in and they asked me what movie I was watching. This scene looked really cool. But I don't know. I'm so lost. But
that
anyway,
made no sense in the context of what we've seen before. What was the point? I don't know. Kojima.
Does Hideo Kojima? I mean, what do you expect?
Someone's going to a therapy appointment. It looked like, and there's my doctor, and doctor, can I get a prescription? That was what I saw, and I'm like, okay, great.
Maybe it's my fault. I did not finish. The first game. I wanted to. I don't remember why.
I didn't play any of it. No, I'm probably going to watch a walkthrough.
Yeah, I think I want to play the second one, so I'll probably watch a good Let's Play. Chronicles Medieval.
Don't know anything about this game. I look at it, I couldn't tell anything about it.
Anything for you? I mean,
no.
Yeah. I mean, it looked cool. I like the medieval time period. But yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance, I think, is the game to beat there. Sonic Racing. I love the little jab at Mario Kart with this with this announcement.
Did they not launch this game last year when they didn't have a new Mario Kart coming out?
I mean, this was fun. It was a fun thing. You got Joker coming in. I think you got Minecraft, right, Steve?
Minecraft.
That's got to be some kind of
Ichiban,
exactly. There's some good characters in there. So if you get Steve from Minecraft, is that dealing straight with Mojang, or is that a Microsoft deal?
Microsoft.
It's probably Microsoft because they own the property. Mojang,
yeah, so I mean,
the content for them.
I think Sega did a good one here.
Well, quite honestly, Mario Kart is only for the people that have a Switch 2. This is for everybody who has an Xbox, a Switch, or Xbox PC, and a Xbox. It's got everything else, and it'll probably also be on Switch 2. So yeah, everybody can actually play Mario Kart.
Next up, Code Vein 2. I did not play Code Vein, so I can't say much about it, but I do know it's a Souls-like. I do know. I feel like the first one. I don't know. Don't quote me, but I feel like the first one was well enough received. Anything? Any of you guys have any Code Vein?
I played the first one. I think the first one, I don't think anything malicious was done to accomplish this, but it kind of came out when Souls and From was peaking. Not peaking, but it just kind of broke into mainstream. And because it was a Souls from FromSoft, it kind of got grouped in, but it doesn't really belong there, from a quality level. So I think some people were a little bit disappointed in it, but it did have some good qualities. It's very anime. It definitely has a more focused storyline than you're used to with Souls games. But I would say in this trailer though, for the sequel, like Mortal Shell 2, they seem to have leveled up.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where it lands.
Very cool.
Mouse PI for Hire.
I just lost my place.
That looks dope. I love it. You got Troy Baker coming in as the lead character. Very fun. That's coming everywhere. I'm assuming that'll be on Switch as well. But yeah, that looks dope. I like it.
Yeah. Well, before that was End of Abyss. Did we skip that because it didn't leave any kind of but yeah, Mouse PI for Hire. We've seen that for a while. That looks like just a ton of fun. Troy Baker. I think we all say the same thing. We always forget how freaking talented Troy Baker is. Everyone wants to hate on it. It's like, God damn it, Troy Baker again. But it's like,
yep.
Damn you, Troy Baker. You're so great at what you do.
Troy Baker for a reason.
Yeah. Game of Thrones, War of Westeros. Do we have any Game of Thrones fans here?
Yeah.
I am, but I don't care about strategy games. So for me, it's like,
see, I'm such a big fan of Game of Thrones, and the only fantastic, I don't even know if it's fantastic, but the only great Game of Thrones video game I played was the Telltale game. I thought that was pretty.
It was.
I thought that was a pretty good game. There's a Game of Thrones game
that's out. That's a free to play game.
I thought that was this. that was this.
No, the free to play game is actually pretty good.
Oh, I read reviews and the reviews are.
I heard it was awful.
Pretty trash.
Play the demo. I enjoyed the demo. I can only talk to the demo. I played the demo. I like the demo, but yeah, maybe it's not a great game. Yeah.
Okay, it looked cool. And then next we got like the Atomic Heart universe. I didn't know Atomic Heart needed a universe, but it's got one. I did not play Atomic Heart because of just like the horrible script and the writing, and just I couldn't. I know that the big workaround in Atomic Heart
from that was so gross. It was bad. Oh my god!
I never even turned it on. Like I was told to play it in Russian.
Is all I will say. A sexy vending machine. I turned it off after that. I'm like, no.
This trailer, you were in a strip club for half the trailer. So there's Atomic Heart 2, and then there was The Cube, which seems to be like a multiplayer game in the Atomic Heart universe. I didn't know there was one, but there is one.
So when I maybe ask you guys this, when I watched this, I felt this game was designed by AI. It made no sense. All these games, all the things you're doing, all of the gameplay feels like, make me a cool game AI, and this is what it developed. There was a lot of like butts that we just see. It's very over the top.
A lot of zooming into some of those things too. Yeah, yes. I was like, all right. The next one, which I was pretty amped for, Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Hell yeah.
I mean, how can we not? It looks like a sweet, only 7 of the 15 characters have been revealed. Looks pretty cool. I think they revealed She-Hulk and
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon. Yeah. Next, which was a highlight for me, Onimusha, Way of the Sword. This game looks absolutely fantastic. Once again, I don't know what I was going to say with once again.
Mark knows I have willed Onimusha to life in this podcast. I've kept on saying Onimusha needs to come back, and I'm glad it's coming back.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. And we saw this before, and there was like some fun comedy and stuff added in. Well, comedy might be the wrong word, but there's some fun like dialogue and stuff like that added in there. So, and then I have absolutely no idea what we saw next.
This looks like AI to me.
Felt that boxing.
I don't know how this is real. I
don't know. I think somebody made this game and said, Jeff, show this. I have a surprise for you. He didn't even know it was maybe Muppets. And no shade or no knock on the devs that probably worked very hard on this game, but this was an interesting one.
Felt that boxing. I love the name.
Yeah.
I love it's basically Rocky with Muppets.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of weird Muppet movies and things like this where they tried to do R-rated. What was that one? Shining Town thing with Melissa McCarthy where it was like Muppets but X-rated.
And Muppets and I think Jim Henson, like some of the, there's a couple of Broadway shows and stuff like that are
Avenue Q.
Yeah, pretty.
I loved Avenue Q.
Pretty R-rated.
Very good.
You know what I mean? So it's like some of those original Muppet things are not shown. Not safe to share at work. I mean, the perspectives and stuff. The presentation looked cool. It looked super real. But
if it looks like that and they move like Muppets. Like it could be a very
Could work.
interesting art style.
Yeah,
for
it could
a
be
game.
fun.
Like if they get the movement right, where it looks like Muppets instead of a video game, and they have that kind of like janky floating thing that only a puppet Muppet kind of character can get. This could be like the Clay fighter for a whole new generation, where it's like, how did they get
I love
Clay
it.
inside my
Well,
Super Nintendo?
I was just
Like,
gonna.
this could be it. You know,
I was just gonna say, and now with like games like the Midnight Walk and stuff like that, you're seeing some pretty impressive stuff. So
yeah.
Even South of Midnight, some of the opening trailers look really great. They can
really great.
So, but I do worry about this. This could be something that doesn't materialize. But
Who knows?
Gentlemen, we are at 1 hour and 43 minutes of this podcast, so we should probably accelerate.
All right, Killer
and get to
Inn.
the big moments. So,
Killer Inn looked cool. Arc Raiders, we've seen. Dune Awakening looks really awesome. Chrono Odyssey, I'm not sure. Nickelodeon, my son was really excited about the Dice of Destiny. Wuthering Waves, Metroidvania, Lego Voyagers looked pretty interesting to me.
Cute. That is a split fiction type Lego game.
That looked awesome.
One code to play with a friend, which is great.
Yep. Mafia of the Old Country, we've seen. It looks really cool. Out of Words, I didn't have much to say. Lies of Overture DLC. Eric, have you dove in yet?
No, I haven't actually played Lies of P. It just
that game kicked my ass.
Now it's not in game. I did go and buy it though for PS5.
Okay,
but it's
my son's going to play it after Exhibition 33. He loves Lies of P. I told him it came out. He's going to get it next. Yes.
Jurassic World Evolution 3 again. I'm skipping. 7 Deadly Sins.
Scott Pilgrim got me excited. I will jump in while you're.
That was a big one.
Before that we saw Mina the Hollower. There was a lot. Summer Game Fest was huge.
The demo's out now. Play it.
Wildgate, colorful, fun, ex-Blizzard developers. That one caught my eye for sure. And
Dying Light the Beast. It's real.
Fans, we get Neil Patrick Harris doing Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool VR looks great. I love it. Have you seen the trailer where Ryan Reynolds basically mocks Doogie Howser by being Doogie Howser? It's so great. I love this. But yeah, Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah. Quest gets a release in PlayStation VR 2. Nowhere to be seen. Yeah.
I know. Mixtape is a highlight for me. I am all in on Mixtape. I'm skipping. Wow, there was a lot of games here. Scott Pilgrim EX, we already mentioned. The First Descendant looked cool.
Scum, I have to say really quick.
Exists.
Why was Scum on TV where we're showing people poo and doing bad things? Horrible game. Don't show that.
1.0. It's real.
Don't show it.
It's real.
Don't show it. Yeah.
Mind's Eye, I'll believe it when I don't know how I feel about this game. Then
fake.
We had the Hitman and Mind's Eye crossover. That's when, what's his name? I think World of Assassination. That's when Mads came out on stage. Oh my God. We're still going. Lego Party. I don't know. Wildgate.
We're going to get some Mario Party now with Lego, which is great. I love that with third parties are putting out games that, because Mario Party is only on Switch. Now people can play parties with Lego. Which is great.
Sure. Ill looked freaking wild. Mecha Break. Oh my gosh. Street Fighter 6 Season 3.
Oh, you forgot
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers
from the Juice Box game producers. That looks pretty cool. I really like.
What
Juice
is
Box. It's called Blighted.
Yeah, but who's
that is by? It's by the Juice Box. So made Guacamelee. It's coming soon.
Great
to
games.
PC. Yeah, really cool.
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. We've seen the Wu Tang is getting their game.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang's for the kids, the children.
Yeah. Splitgate 2 we got. Stranger Than Heaven we got. Oh my God. And then the show ended with, that was your mic drop, I guess. And my big surprise was the Resident Evil 9 REQ or RE9 Requiem.
Yeah. After the swerve where it was a birthday party, we're like, we'll get back to Resident Evil. Like, what are you talking about? And then they announced this game. I will say a game that really surprised me, Into the Unwell. That is a third, it's a third person action platformer that looks like it's from the Cuphead does.
Cuphead.
It's very fun, very cool. It looks like that style. So I like that we're getting with Mouse
that
PI.
30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot
All
of
right.
games here.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, Eric. Sorry, Matt. I had to rush you because I'm like, oh, there's so many games. That's going to be a theme of the show. So really quickly, SGF content. I'll just take your scores really quick. Eric.
Content, I would say 7.
Okay. Matt.
I'm going with a 7 as well.
Mark.
I'm going to go with a 7.5 just to be a little bit different.
All right.
Just because there's such a breadth of content.
They had too
there's a
much
lot.
content, I would say. Almost too much. No
Very
restriction
long.
on what was shown. No, I think anybody that wanted to pay Jeff got a trailer. So, yeah, I would say it's a 7. We'll go with wow factor. Eric.
I would say a 6.
Okay. Matt.
I'm going to go with an even middle of the road 5.
5. Mark.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim.
5 for me, I think. Same kind of feeling with PlayStation. Like, yeah. I'll stick with that.
I'm going to go a 4. Presentation. There you go.
I'd probably go 7. I like that Jeff Keighley really shines a light on indie and AA games. They don't really get they don't get a platform like this ever. So it's nice that that they do that. I know some people just want to see the AAA stuff or the super, super interesting stuff. And there's kind of like a wide shot here, but I like it.
Yeah, he actually started the show off with the top games on Steam, and he pointed out that a lot of these are smaller devs with smaller staffs, which, I hope people didn't take it like, well, if they can do it with 10 people, why can't you do it with 100? That's not the point. It's just saying that ingenuity and ideas make great games. All right, Matt.
Eric took the words right out of my mouth. All of the spotlights he does, 7.
Okay. Mark.
Having not watched it, but looking at the breadth of content and knowing that I generally tune out to too much Keighley style presentations. I love what he does, but I feel like it's a 6 for me personally. If I were to watch it, taking in what you guys have said so far, maybe a little too long. Maybe could use some focus or broken up into 2. Like here's like, it sounds like there's a lot of like MA stuff that they could have had like a Keighley After Dark presentation. And then like, here's some like fun indies. Here's some cool stuff that's like everyone. That's where you get Sonic Racing and like Scott Pilgrim and this and that. And then you get like the poop horror stuff that's like in a separate presentation. Like, don't worry, like break it up, dude.
Not kid friendly. That's the problem. Yeah. You can't bring your kids to that. Okay, great. For me, presentation, I'll be honest. If Lucy James wasn't there to do some of the work, I'd give this a 3. Because Jeff should not be on stage. He doesn't bring any energy. He has his favorites. It slows down time. And I felt like the actual flow of the show was bad. It didn't have a good flow. I didn't enjoy watching it. And I would say, would you enjoy watching the show? I don't think many people would say they like watching the credits. They didn't enjoy the extra stuff. There was no note of like entertainment to the show except for watching the trailers. So that's my biggest thing. It was way too long too. So I'm going to give this one a 5 because it's Lucy James. Thank you for being on our show, Lucy. So there we go. I will tally these up at the end of the show. We get to the Xbox Showcase. Who would like to tackle this? And once again, we don't want to take all day. Let's get it down to the stuff we love. Mark, you take it.
I'll tackle the Xbox Showcase. And I want to do it a little bit different than we've been doing stuff. Just
absolutely
for the sake of speeding through it. So we might not mention everything, but I'm going to start with Eric and say, like, what were your top maybe 3 or 4 things that you saw? Like, what stood out to you the most through this one? Is there a couple of like titles that you were like, holy crap, that's a thing?
Things that hit the hardest for me in all these showcases are things that surprise me. And as somebody who is like constantly F5ing Reddit and like has people that tell me some things sometimes that's not easy to surprise me. But I will say I had no idea High on Life 2 was even in development. And that's one of my favorite games.
What a shock.
The fact that it's coming out this year blew me away. That's my
Dude.
reveal of the weekend.
100%.
Super Meat Boy 3D, again, had no idea this was a thing. It looks absolutely incredible. Clockwork Revolution, obviously I knew that game existed. I had a preconception of what I thought this game would be. Blew that away completely. And then Grounded 2, again, no idea that this was being worked on, and it's coming out next month.
Yeah. Crazy. Xbox with like the surprise drops was wildly impressive. I had a few of those on my list as well. Matt, what about you? Anything like what stood out to you on this one?
So like as in my top 3 favorites, is that what you're saying?
Top 3 favorites or like
so
things that just kind of
so
like
what stood out to me in terms of like what interests me, like, we obviously, no one was surprised that the Outer Worlds 2 was there. That was what they're ending their show with. But I was super excited to see the Outer Worlds 2. I don't know if I liked that it started the show off. But I did like seeing it. God, guys, I am like, you're going to hate me, but High on Life 2, sorry, I'm not a fan of High on Life.
I didn't love High on Life 1.
I love the Plague Tale series. I was very excited. This game shocked me, but at the same time, I was like, what the hell is it? Like, I didn't know what it was. It didn't really fit the theme of what the Plague Tale games have been, but that game was like a surprise for me. I had no idea I personally didn't know. Blood of the Dawnwalker, which we have seen before. I was a little disappointed with this.
I was totally surprised by that game.
Oh, it's from some devs who worked on The Witcher 3.
Oh, okay.
This is a game that has been revealed. We have seen if you haven't seen it yet, Todd, go check out the first reveal of the game. I think that did a better job than this trailer, but I am a Witcher fan of all 3 games. So this game has me very excited. I suck at Super Meat Boy, guys.
I hate the name of this game. I wish that it wasn't Dawn of the Bloodwalker.
The Blood of the
Dawn
Dawnwalker.
of Bloodwalker. I hate the title of the game.
So he is a Dawnwalker. You'll like when you watch it, you'll learn what a Dawnwalker is.
Is that Dawn's name? Dawn Walker?
So it's like he's like half vampire, half human.
Like Blade. Yeah, a Daywalker.
They couldn't call him Daywalker. They called him Dawnwalker.
My favorite is probably Clockwork Revolution. It was a beefy ass trailer. I was like, I'm there, I'm ready, and I'm like, it's coming when it's coming. So I was a little bummed to see that there wasn't a date, but I know it's coming. So, take your time, work on the game. That looked awesome. So yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
I also really like the Don't Nod game. Don't sleep on Don't Nod. They're crushing it.
They're doing a space game, which is interesting too, but they're adding a little bit of supernatural.
Looks
potentially
cool.
Alien. Yeah.
Todd.
Oh boy. I wrote some notes. Yeah. So Clockwork Revolution. Wow. That game looks amazing. It's like the BioShock game we wanted. It looks amazing. I love the fact that you've even got like a weird, I don't even know what to call it, almost like a nutcracker character, which is a little guy that is swearing you. I love that style. I love the gameplay. Very fun that you even got like a person that like a little robot that collects trash and then he gets kicked over. So sad. And I like the fact that when they explain who the person that stole something is actually the character selection screen. So smart. Like, explain who this person is. I'm like, that's great. I love it. It's so smart. I love that. And this is an Exile who's only made those third person, not the third person, like isometric style. The fact that they're this way, I'm like, that's amazing. I'm glad they get to do games like that. Dawn of the Bloodwalker looks amazing. That's my style of game. I love it. Indie DLC surprised the hell out of me. I'm so glad it's not free, but I'm glad Indie can make some more money. I think that's awesome. We're getting with that, and why not? It's really great. Yeah. But I don't want a sequel to Indie. I want another Castle Wolfenstein game. I want a Wolfenstein game. Let these guys make the DLC and move on. No Ghost the Grand was my biggest surprise. I love this game. It's a musical hotel renovation, but it's also got a deep mystery. I didn't know I wanted this game until I saw it. I'm like, I love musical guys. I just bought tickets to different musicals. I love them so much. I'm all in. Keep being weird games. I love this.
Okay.
And then Keeper. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'm right there with you for that.
I loved it. I didn't know because it looks like more like one of those renovation games where you're like destroying everything to fix it, but then it's like, oh, there's a mystery and why you're here.
Yeah,
and
it looks like part satisfying, like the power wash simulator, but then like murder mystery kind of thing with like.
But you're sucking up books and then using books to make like it's so weird.
And it wrapped around a musical, just looks as kooky as can be, and I'm here for it.
So that's what's great about video games because that's what's great because you lost me at musical.
Matt,
out.
You're fired. You're perma-banned. No musical hate. Everything is better with song, as Homer said. Musicals are the lowest form of communication, but I love them. And then Keeper. This is the new Double Fine game where you're like a watch, like you're basically a lighthouse when you got a little bird and you're walking around. Like who thought Double Fine would do this?
Yes.
Yeah. Keeper. I love this. Like a lighthouse keeper. Love it. I'm glad we're getting this. This is coming out like October. So once again, we're getting another game. Yeah. So amazing.
I think that was Xbox exclusive. I don't think that's.
I think it's going to be. I think a lot of these games will come out later, but it's like get it on Xbox first and then we'll release it later. Go from there. I do want to put a caveat. This is the frustrating part I got on, and I got pissed on by the nerd chat. Does Play Anywhere really matter that much? Unless you own both a Xbox console and a PC. If you don't, what does that mean? I think a lot of people don't even understand what it means. And it kept on everything was like there. I'm like, is that marketing money well spent? I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb.
It's one of my gripes with this show is that the messaging was.
I think it's going to matter more later. Because the ROG Ally Xbox thing, they made a point of saying you could buy it there or you could stream it. So I think the Play Anywhere bit is showing their future strategy. And I think when we see the Xbox Oculus crossover thing, I think when we get a few more of like Xbox is going to be on more devices, I think that strategy is going to play. And I think they just dropped that marketing now to get people used to it. And I think that's why like we saw the ROG Xbox Ally, we saw Gears of War coming to PlayStation. It is play our games anywhere, enjoy them anywhere, cross save, cross progression, all that kind of shit. Like, I think they're getting us.
Unless you buy a game on the ROG Ally Xbox on Steam, you can't play it everywhere because unfortunately, it's your purchase ends in there. But if you have if you have Game Pass, you'll play it there. So that's the thing. It's like that's where I was like frustrated because I'm like they're going so hard in this. Unfortunately, with Xbox console sales declining. That it's really play on PC, and that's the only way you can play it unless you have Game Pass and streaming and
Well, you can play it on PC, you can play it on Xbox, you can play it on this new tablet, new handheld. You can play it on all. Who's going
to spend $500 or $600 to buy an Xbox console now? That's the problem.
Yeah, but that's unless you already need an Xbox console, you can stream it to a phone, you can stream it to a TV, you can play it on.
Correct. If you pay for Game Pass Ultimate,
if you buy the game from Xbox, they're putting
you can't stream without Ultimate because on Xbox. How do you stream right now on X if I don't have
I'm
Ultimate?
Not talking specifically about streaming. I'm saying right now you can buy the game, you can play it on your PC, you can play it on your handheld.
If you buy it on the Xbox PC app, if the game is there. But not
which all these games are.
The library is very these games are, but a lot of games aren't. So that's what I understand this is the start of it.
Yeah, but that's to me why they say that's why they're making sure that these games are.
Correct. But once again, to do streaming anywhere is a hard thing to do. And that's a value that's not there for a lot of people. So I don't know. It just seems like we spent a lot of time talking about it it's going to benefit very few people because it has to be a set of functions that you're actually going to utilize it on. Right.
I would disagree that it benefits.
If I own a phone and stream anywhere, I got to pay $20 for Game Pass Ultimate. Right. If I don't own a console or PC. It's $20
for now.
to stream.
For now, but
Well, Play Anywhere is benefiting people with multiple devices.
Yeah,
Correct. And that's a very small niche audience, right?
I don't know.
Microsoft is part of the group that's fighting against Apple and Google right now, along with like Epic and Fortnite, to try to get other stores available on smartphones. The second they do that, again, this is going to matter a whole lot more. You're going to be able to buy
I guess, but I feel a lot of
on your phone.
all about nothing at this point, right? Because if you don't have a console, Play Anywhere is essentially on PC, but only on the Xbox PC app, which quite honestly has a very small library. So for me, it's like you should have been doing this 20 years ago.
They also planted a PlayStation seed here with Gears.
Correct, but I don't buy the game on. If I buy Gears 5, I can't play it anywhere on PC, PS5, right?
They're positioning Play Anywhere as a bonus, like a benefit to these games that they're marketing.
I understand that, but if you're going to be on PC, I buy it on Steam, and I can't play. And Steam is the only place I can play it on. If I buy it there, that's not Play Anywhere. Yeah, that's only Play on PC or Xbox PC.
That's the point, though. Play Anywhere is a benefit of not buying it on Steam, buying it here instead. If you buy it here instead, you get the added benefit of.
I don't think most PC gamers are going to buy on the Xbox PC app because it lacks features and it's a small library.
Okay, well, what's a better way to get them to buy it? To do nothing or to try stuff like this?
Yeah, I just think it's weird. I think they should just be a publish. I think it should be Game Pass, and then we're publishing every else. Play Anywhere is a niche market, especially when they don't offer a streaming service tier that's not $20.
Well, there's like 40, 50 million people with Xboxes, right? And
no,
those
30 million with series though. So
yeah, or
Xbox One, you're talking now 10 old. You're talking about 10-year-old hardware now. There's only 30 million Xbox Series systems.
Some of those games,
correct, but it's a shrinking audience, and the systems just got more expensive.
Yeah, where are they going though? Yeah. They're going to PC, right? The console market.
They're going to PC, but not necessarily Game Pass on Xbox PC.
But
that's what they're trying to capture. So these people are leaving consoles and going to PC, so they want to.
Let's have a
offer benefits.
Xbox chat and.
Yeah, I just thought it was an odd thing that they put it out there, and they didn't even explain to people what Xbox Play Anywhere is. They haven't. They've done a bad job. They said everything's an Xbox, and then they brought up.
I think that's been Microsoft's problem for a long time. Their messaging has been all over the place. I mean, the messaging I got from the show was there's a lot of great games, but Sarah Bond. I had to rewind what the hell she was talking about like 30 times, and her messaging was still unclear. Like, am I getting Silks? Like, are we playing this freaking game now? We playing it? That messaging was bad.
Silksong said, by the way, our game isn't launching when this does. It's launching anytime else. It'll be eventually playable. Yeah.
Matt and Phil mentioned that. Phil, they need like some grammar lessons, but there was some weird messaging. I think they need to step it back a little bit.
I would say we didn't talk about the hardware. Xbox did launch the Xbox, was it the Asus ROG Ally, Xbox
Very
Ally, cool. And Ally X. No pricing, very cool no release date. But by the way, those are going to cost probably $600 and $900. So that is not going to be cheap
priced up, but it looks cool.
It's very cool.
Canadian right now, like the ROG Ally X or whatever, like their top tier one is like $1,100.
Yeah.
I'm expecting this to come around the same price, if not more.
Man.
Because these are on the shop.
There is another one that with more storage or something like that. That's like, it's like $1,200, $1,250 or something like that. It's wild. So people complaining about the Switch price, I understand why Xbox didn't talk about pricing, because people are like, whatever, $600.
I don't know if this is the place to though.
This is a significant increase.
This is not just showing it, I think was good enough. I think pricing and stuff comes out like Xbox Wired or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought it was a great showcase for a new piece of hardware. I thought it looked really cool. The price is going to be painful, but I thought it was a very impressive looking piece of hardware. Games that you guys didn't mention so far that I want to bring up because I was personally excited. I thought Call of Duty Black Ops 7 looked trippy AF, and I didn't expect
it looked like Quantum Break 2.
At what point in the trailer did you realize it was Call of Duty?
the end.
when they said
I thought it was This Is Us.
Yeah.
Is it Milo Ventimiglia?
This is
what it
Us, the video game.
I thought it was This Is
Really?
Us. I was like, this is great. Like they're really
Thank you.
taking
That
this
was
to another level.
Fantastic. I thought that looked badass, and I haven't been that interested in a trippy Call of Duty game in a long time. Tony Hawk 3 and 4 just looked like dumb fun, and I love those
Turtles
games. And the Ninja Turtles in there,
Yes.
fantastic.
and Master
Anemo.
Doom guy.
And Doom Guy's been announced for a while, and the creepy other Doom creature, and Anemo, giving some Pokemon vibes. I'm here for it. I already said my piece about Gears, and that looks like the way to do a remake.
Yeah.
They're even focusing on split screen. Todd, I know you and I have had plenty of conversations about couch co-op split screen being left out of remakes and how annoying that is, and them not going back. They're doing it for this. This is a remake done right. So I'm super excited for Gears.
That's Heritage Gears, right?
Yeah, that's it. So going
Now
back,
I'm pissed that I just played Gears for the first time like 2 years ago. I'm like, damn.
Me and Sean Nias, that's how we played Gears couch co-op. We loved it. It's great. Yeah, Gears is kept with that. I do want to have one shout out for one game that was not one of these showcases, but I think it's amazing. The Expanse game that's coming out was announced. Looks so amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it looks like Mass Effect in the Expanse universe. Very good. I can't wait for that game. So that's a shout out for that game.
Beauty. All right, let's score it up. Eric.
Okay, I'm taking
Content.
notes.
What was the first category? Content?
Content.
I would say 8.
Yep.
I would say I'm gonna go 7. A lot missing.
Okay.
Although I agree with Eric that there is a lot missing, I also think there was a lot shown, and I'm going to say 8.5.
Ooh, good job. Do I get to go next, or is it Mark? Okay, Mark, you go.
I'll go. Yes, I'm doubling that. I thought this was super impressive. I was interested in more games here, I think, than pretty much anywhere else, like per capita kind of thing. Like, you know, like the amount of games that they talked, the percentage that I was interested. And there was weird stuff. There was AAA stuff. There was small, weird indie things that were like, video games are weird. Yeah, I thought this was great.
What's your score? 8.5? Mark, was it 8.5?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to go also 8.5 because I didn't feel like there was any games I didn't want to really play. I mean, I thought they spent their time in the right space. And they really focused on some really great value. A lot of the games are in Game Pass. That's where I put it, like, is going to be on Game Pass. And I felt like so many of the games were, which is great. They were very good at saying where it was. So I will also give it an 8.5. Good job, Xbox.
All right, we're going wow factor next. Eric.
I would say 8. There's a lot of games that really surprised me that I did not expect. I didn't even know existed or even could potentially exist, let alone come out this year. So I'll go 8.
Same.
I'm not going to make a lot of people happy. I'm going to go 5. I think a lot of the things that we expected to be there were there. I think a lot of I just don't think that enough of the things that I didn't think wowed me enough. Like, for example, like Planet of Lana 2, super happy that that's existing, but I'm not wowed. I think the thing that wowed me most was Clockwork Revolution, and I know I already knew about it, so I'm going to go 5 with wow.
Okay.
Mark?
You know what? I was kind of feeling, I'll go 7.5. Because I kind of agree with both points here. There were a few things that I did expect. There were a few things that was like, we saw this before, we knew this was happening, but then there were also a few of those like, damn, that's here and it's coming out, like High on Life 2. It's like, that's getting a sequel and it's soon, and it like, what the hell?
Love that game so
there were
much.
a few like there were a few surprises, but not like, like there were a few, I'd say a few good surprises, but nothing like atomic bomb dropping surprises. So, 7.5.
I'm going 5. I hated the fact that what they opened with and closed with essentially didn't really do much for me. Call of Duty, great. It's a different Call of Duty, but it's still Call of Duty. Opening up with a game where you're going to actually have a showcase felt like wasted real estate where you could really knock our socks off. The lack of games we're supposed to get next year, Fable being a no-show after a year getting delayed, give us proof of life would be great.
I respected that decision, man. Because I
do, but that game's coming out very soon. That's the problem. So I want to know it's good space. Maybe, yeah, sure, Awards, why not? But yeah, I just felt like and I expected more games to show up on Switch 2, quite honestly, or PlayStation. Very little. So I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? So yeah, I would say it's a 5. I didn't see a lot of like, oh my God, I didn't expect that. I just felt like, a lot of games we showed and like, oh, there's some good surprises here. Great. And a lot of games coming to Game Pass. Good job. So we get to presentation. Yeah.
Eric.
I think I'll go 7 again. Follow up with like what Todd was saying. There was so much missing. I thought for sure like Fable was a lock, Perfect Dark was a lock, State of Decay 3, E-Day. I thought all these things were like prime candidates to have like deeper dives into the gameplay. All of them are absent. There was even teases put up by the State of Decay Facebook page before the show. They were completely absent. There was Splinter Cell teases put out by Ubisoft. Where's Sam Fisher? He's still high. He's stealth somewhere. Some show. I don't know.
Ubisoft was MIA for everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
But but without being too negative, like there was still a lot of awesome stuff here. A lot of awesome surprises. I don't think there's a single game on this list, just like on the PlayStation one, that I don't want to play. But I do think that this gets me more excited because on PlayStation, I'm probably not playing most of those games day one. On this, a lot of this stuff's on Game Pass, and the stuff that's not, I'll probably be picking up. So there's a lot of day one games here.
Yeah,
Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little low because I think getting into Xbox over these past couple of years, I think these past couple of showcases were like 9s and 10s, and I was disappointed with this one. And I think all the games that Eric said that were missing that I know a lot of us expected to see. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. But I think the show started very weak for me. The first game that I was like, yes, was Blood of the Dawnwalker. And I did not think that was the best showing of that game. So in terms of, and I'm sorry, like Sarah Bond, Matt Booty and Phil Spencer confused like that. They were confusing. The messaging was off. It was weird. So in terms of presentation, I'm going to go 6. I mean, it was better than middle of the road because there was just a lot of awesome stuff shown. And I also think the Clockwork Revolution thing you have to clock that. I think that was so long. And I was it started, I was like, hey, all right, I've seen it now. Show me what the game does. And then like at the end, we finally got the time powers and I'm like, oh, now it's picking up again. This game is like a highlight and nothing. And so it's just not their best. Like they've been so on fire and I don't think this one was great.
Mark.
I'm gonna give a 7.5. I think this was a little better than Sony's, specifically because I just thought there were more hits than misses, and I am going to counter something that Matt said by giving a bit of a shout out to Phil Spencer at the end of this, saying that next year is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. Players are celebrating 25 years. We're going to learn about the new Fable. We're going to get the next Forza, Gears of War, E-Day. And he said return of a classic that's been with us since the start. I'm assuming that's going to something Halo related.
That was the problem. It was too confusing, Mark.
The wording was so confusing because then we saw Call of Duty and we're like, Call of Duty has been with us for 25 years.
It confused people.
No, he talked
It confused me and Matt. We were like, we took it away. So I would say
it's the consensus on the internet was,
I
like,
thought
it
that was
did make sense.
See, I wasn't confused with that at all. That
Damn,
was
he's
him
smarter than
saying,
us.
We're saving,
Absolutely.
we're saving all of this stuff. You'll see this stuff later. There's one more trailer.
Why didn't they show it then? That
Because
should have
they
been like,
don't
then
have
here's the
to right
game.
now.
Don't go to Call of Duty. Show that game that's coming out in 2026. That is
They'll
a
do that
classic.
later. That's Game Awards. That's this fall.
Maybe. And
I'm not judging this.
And that might be. You might be right. That might be Game
later.
Awards for sure. It's just
Absolutely. I'm expecting another.
I think ending the
It's
show
coming in 2026, and we're now 15 months away. You better show that game soon, then.
Yeah, and it's going to come. I have faith, and I thought Phil coming out at the end and saying, "Hey, if you're expecting Fable and Halo and all this stuff, don't worry. We're coming strong next year in 2026 because it's our 25th anniversary. We're happy you're here. Watch this last trailer. It's Call of Duty. We've got some kick-ass stuff coming up." And I thought it was a great way to end it. So I thought this was a good one. I am going to still say 7.5 because there was some confusion in some of the other stuff and whatever. But I thought this was a stronger presentation than Sony. So I'll have to go at least 0.5 points higher than I gave them.
Yeah, I do think that they were holding back for next year, but I think that I think that they knew that this was a soft year for everybody. Because even with that being said, I still think this was far and away the best showcase, and every single showcase that we've ranked so far, we've all had the same criticism as there was not that big megaton. Yes, none of them had that, and I think that
GTA effect. I think,
that's probably plays a huge role into it. And Phil would know.
Nintendo style thing where Nintendo will show you what's happening in the next 3 to 6 months, and if you're expecting something that's coming next year, like you might get a mention, but like Nintendo doesn't care if you're excited for a game that's coming out in 15 months. Like wait 15 months. They're going to show it 6 months before it. Enjoy this shit in the fall. Yeah. Like we got some surprises like Grounded and stuff like coming this fall. This was the most Nintendo-esque thing that Microsoft could have done.
Yep. That was a lot of pressure on them though next year though, because if they don't deliver after this, then
and they're going to have a handheld PC. They're going to be everywhere. So they have no we got new hardware. We're everywhere. Yeah, it's going to be challenging.
Then I'm giving this a 5. Then imagine something like Blade. Like we didn't mention Blade.
Yeah, where's Blade? We're never going to see Blade. Are we going to see Blade?
I am worried about that game.
I'm giving this a 5 because I understand Sarah, Phil. They added nothing to the show. They didn't add anything because it once again added confusion. Or does Phil telling us what's coming matter? No, we want to see the games. And Xbox has struggled with the showing, not the telling. They've talked a lot, but games keep getting delayed, and that's their problem. They got to deliver. So they got some good stuff coming, but for this showcase, it was, I would say, bland is the best way to put it. It was just trailers with no personality to a large part. And then Phil and Sarah showing up added nothing to it. And it felt like it was just a placeholder to say, we're here, we're still your friends, and moving on. So to me, it was a 5. I'm just not into the Friends of Xbox experience because, quite honestly, they are not our friends. They are executives that want to sell us games. So I don't find value in their personalities, just like I don't want to see Sony or other executives there. So that's why cut there. So at this point, and before we wrap up, I'm just going to total the score for everyone to see how each show performed. So we've got the state of play. Eric gave it 15 points. Matt, 21.5. Mark, 20. Todd, 21, with a total of 77.5. With Summer Games Fest, Eric gave that a 20. Matt gave that a 19. Mark gave that an 18.5. I gave that a 16 for a total score of 73.5. And for Xbox, Eric gave that a 22. Matt gave that a 19.5. Mark gave that a 23.5. And Todd gave that me 20.5 for 85.5 points. So as you can see, we had Xbox followed by State of Play, followed by Summer Games Fest. So there's your score. Congratulations to all the shows, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the games.
Ranking.
I'm actually, I not to sound fanboyish, but I thought the PlayStation one was my favorite one. Then Xbox.
Well, it was short.
Then
it was to the point. Didn't take 3 hours. It was nobody was on there except the human saying this is coming to PlayStation. But that is the state of play. I think a lot of PlayStation fans are disappointed because they want to know what's happening with Wolverine and things like that. So I think PlayStation just is in a bad spot, and this was the best we could hope.
Damn you, Jim Ryan!
But
you really can't shit on Xbox for like saving some stuff for next year, while Sony had nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
Astrobot last August.
Like at least Xbox is like, hey, here's some shit you can play this fall, and Sony was like, here's some third-party stuff because we totally.
Well, but that's what Xbox did. Xbox showed us third-party stuff because Xbox is third-party.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And it'll be on your other devices.
But
it's awesome. I love that.
Xbox is everywhere.
I love that.
Everything's
I love
Xbox.
I love that Xbox opened up to the world and said, "You're all gonna play our damn games, and this is awesome." But that's and my take is
this is essentially a Ubisoft or EA play. EA.
Yeah, what does next year look like when you have Summer Game Fest versus? I think it's like Summer Game Fest versus Xbox. You're going to still have Nintendo doing their own thing. You're going to still have PlayStation doing it, and then you might have your Ubisofts and stuff like that are third party that do their own thing. But Xbox is going to start picking up games, and it's like, what is Jeff's competition is going to be with Microsoft? I think picking up some of these.
I think it already
some
is.
of these games.
Yeah. So with that, Mark, I just want to hit on our predictions from last episode really quick. These were our predictions. What we don't want to see, the bitter predictions. Chance said hate. I don't think we saw any hate. Mark, you said less execs and Jeff. I said montages and less Jeff. We still saw a lot of Jeff and montages. We saw more execs because Phil and Sarah were there. So
and don't forget Matt Booty.
All got it right. Yeah, you got right. And Matt Booty. What we expect to see mild. I said remasters, remakes, new Elite Series controller. I failed. Didn't see a lot of remakes or remasters. Mark, you said Silk Song and 007. You win. Chance said tons of Outer World 2 excitement and Xbox handheld. So he did well as well. Yeah. And then the spicy predictions. Since Chance said Injustice 3, WB, a no-show except for the Mortal Kombat games. Mm-hmm. Mark, you said Perfect Dark Xbox drops for Switch 2, kind of non-existent. No, I said RE returns with RE9 in a Banjo new E. So I got points for Resident Evil. But no Banjo.
I'm still so surprised that Xbox did not drop a single hey, Switch 2 is the new hottest. Did you pick one up this weekend?
And nothing on SGF.
Paying for it.
Dev kits, though, guys. Something happened.
Yeah. Maybe.
Those dev kits didn't get out.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't think it's Xbox's fault. I just don't think they were ready to. I don't think they were ready to do anything.
No, absolutely. So that is our show. My goodness, this is one of the longest. Everybody's awake. Eric and Mark are now at the 12:37 mark. You guys are tired. I can tell.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And Matt's got kids to teach in New York. So let's wrap this boy up. So folks, thank you so much for joining us. Eric, where can people find you across the interwebs?
You can find me at Game Positive YT on YouTube, Game Positive YT on Twitter, or Eric Bizanson at Blue Sky. I should have a podcast episode out soon with my more in-depth kind of recap of the showcases.
Very cool.
Season Gaming. Good job. Yeah, Ames was at
he's there.
The Xbox Showcase. Saw the pictures with all the cool people that are at SGF. Luke Lore, Captain Logan, Mr. Badbit, all those guys. Ames, good job, guys. Cool. Appreciate it. Matt, where can you be found online? I know you just started a Discord. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm trying. It's slow. It's like a soft launch, so to speak. Yep. But yeah, MKen10, YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky. I'm still one of the good guys on Twitter. Yeah.
Excellent.
Mark.
Yeah. Mostly on Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky every once in a while, Canardian_Jedi, and of course hanging out in the Secret Friends Unite Discord.
You forget your OnlyFans, Mark, but that's okay.
But you're my only fan, and you
that's true. I'm your
just started asking me to slide into your DMs. So
It was a one-time option. Yes.
took that free
One
trial and
Yeah.
saved all my feet pics, and that's my only regret. So
I appreciate you. Yeah, you can follow me on the Blue Sky at Todd Oxtra, at Secret Friends Unite, on the threads at Toxtra, at Secret Friends Unite, and our Facebook group as well. Check out our Discord. Check out our basically our website, secretfriendsunite.com, for all things Secret Friends Unite. So that is our show, folks. Hopefully you had a good time. It was a long time, but I think we had a good time. So with that, Eric, I see your cat, so it means it's time to go to bed. So
he busted down that door like an hour and a half
I saw
ago.
the door open up. I'm like, is there a serial killer? No, it's just the cat.
It doesn't lag.
So there we go. Yeah. So folks, remember, it's always better to game together.
this podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.